welcome to Sewing Quarter. It's lovely to have you here with us this morning for Summer Ready. So we're getting summer ready with lots of lovely dresses, and we've got this great jacket that I'm modelling this morning. I've been made to put it on, and I actually quite like it, so it's all good. And we've got two different patterns for the jacket and the dress that we're doing today. But what I'll do is I'll talk you through what's coming up on today's show. So at 8 o'clock, I'm joined by Jennifer Taylor, and we're looking at a vintage tea dress. So we've got the pattern for that and some different fabric bundles in really bright summery fabrics. Then at 9 o'clock, beside the seaside, we've got some nautical fabrics, some lovely linen style fabrics and some other different premieres in that hour too. Then at 10 o'clock is holiday wardrobe essentials. So that's back with Jenny, and we've got some nice kimono type tops and tunics. And then at 11 o'clock is bags of fun. So we're looking at a book with some different bag options in there, and bag handles and stabilisers and all sorts of a bag extravaganza at 11. So what am I wearing? I'm wearing this lovely jacket, which we've got the pattern for here. This is actually a reversible jacket. So I don't know if you can see, but it's got a really lovely sort of boxy shape to it. It's quite square, but a flattering fit, I think, because of those straight lines coming down the front. If I just turn around as well, you can see you've also got, it's really, really lovely. And you've got this reversible here. So on the other side, we've got another Severnbray fabric. You can see there. So the fabric itself, this one today, if you miss it today, then you miss out. All we've got in stock, we're not reordering this one, so this is all we've got left. So if you do want it, just make sure you pop it in your basket. This is the one that I've got on. This is the Joel Dewberry that's on the outside of the jacket here that you can see. So you've got this lovely floral print in your turquoises and teals, and that lovely steely grey there as well. Perfect for the summer. I feel like this is the perfect jacket for a summer barbecue or a party or even for a wedding. You know, sometimes you just need a smart jacket in case it gets a bit chilly. This would be perfect. Or if you had a turquoise fascinator or something to go with it. Very nice. And then on the reverse of the jacket, I haven't got the fabric here, but we've got a still we can show you, which is a diamond print again there. I can show you actually on the other side. So you've got those lovely aqua little triangle shapes there darting across the fabric. Again, this one's coming in ½ metre increments. And with this one too, again, miss it, you miss out. So if you, here we go, it's like a magician, back the other way. We've got it, a quick change. So this is it in the other fabric. If we've turned it around. So just a really lovely option there. You've got two different ways to jazz up an outfit with, depending on what you've got. It's a way to inject a bit of colour, a bit of a print. Maybe if you're wearing something plain, like I've got sort of a plain dress on today, it just works really well with that to add a splash of colour and interest. So both of these fabrics, they're not coming back. Lovely prints from Joel Dewberry, and they're being sold by the ½ metre, so it's £6.95 per ½ metre for those. So we've got some fabric bundles for you this morning. We're looking at the vintage tea dress. So you might be able to see here on the mannequin, this is the top of the dress that you can see. So there are a couple of different collar options, which is what we're going to focus on today. But a really flattering dress with a princess line bodice there. So just that really flattering fit. So there are 4 different fabric bundles, all from different designers. So something for everyone. We'll start with the Dashwood, which is the one you can see here on your screen. So you get 3 metres of fabric, and you've also got your interfacing there and a thread. So it's £38.95 for that one. This is the Dashwood. It's the print that you can see on the mannequin here. Really summery. This is this particular collection is sort of inspired by India. You've got really exotic florals and lovely prints there. And 3 metres, so a lot of fabric. So we'll move on to the next bundle. Just quickly go through these so you can see the different fabric options. So the Severnbray, this one is, again, 3 metres with your interfacing and your thread. A beautiful bright print there, but on a toned down sort of a linen background. So you've got that cream background with your bright aquas and lime greens. You can see there in the floral. It's a really lovely summery print, if you can see that there. But you've got those gorgeous avocado greens and then sort of spearminty greens in with that as well. Really lovely. Then your next one is the Amy Butler. We've actually got the whole dress made up in this, so we'll show you that one in a second. So we can show you that one first. So you can see that there on your screen. That's the, I think it's Cocoa Bloom, this one. So you've got 3 meters again of that fabric with your interfacing. And I think this one's got an orangey thread with that, which ties in really beautifully with the flowers on the fabric itself. And then the last one, this is a Spectrum Solid, so it's a cornflower blue. You've got that really rich uniform colour, and it's also a more affordable option. You've not got that busy print there, so it's just something nice and plain. Perhaps you could jazz it up with a jacket like we've got on this morning. So $20.95 for that one. Again, 3 meters of your fabric, and you've got your thread with that too, and your interfacing. So I'll just show you, we've also got the cloth kits pattern. So I'm going to head over to Jennifer now, we can get cracking with it. You can see it on your screen there. So that's the vintage tea dress. And here we are with Jennifer.
Hello.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good stuff. So we're looking at the tea dress again this morning.
Are.
We did this once before.
We did. It's gorgeous, isn't it, that vintage dress? It's so flattering, especially if you cut the skirt on the bias, it really does swell.
It's got a bit of a swish.
Yes, if you're into your tea dances, then this is definitely the dress for you.
We've got it here actually.
Yeah,
you can
it's gorgeous.
So what's really lovely about this is in the Amy Butler, but you can see that the bodice has got a really flattering fit there, just cinching right in at the waist, which is really feminine, isn't it, as well?
It's gorgeous, yeah. And I think it really suits with the Amy Butler there with that Cocoa Bloom. It's just gorgeous, proper, beautiful summery dress.
Just a lovely one to feel a bit special in. So we're it's not going to bother you. So we're going to look at the. We're going to focus on the collar today, aren't we?
Yeah, because with this beautiful dress, there's an alternative neckline where we didn't really cover that in the last show that we did together. So I thought it'd be a really nice one to kind of delve a little bit more in the pattern and give you that option
to change it up if you want to.
Change it up, definitely. But I'm not just going to stick with it there. So we're actually going to be embellishing that collar. So I've in the first mannequin option there, which I've attached it to the bodice, but then I've also done it where I've detached it, so you could add it. You could add it as and when. You could add it to a plain top if you wanted to, or add it to your dress. So you've got
almost
two
like
dresses
a necklace,
in one.
so you've got you can just add that on as like a little extra.
Well, back in, I'm sure it was the Edwardian or Victorian times, it wasn't uncommon for them to have just a plain shirt, but then they would always change the collar. It was the collar that got washed, the shirt never did.
That's when it gets grubby. In case it gets grubby, you can just change your collar.
I'm not saying don't wash the dress,
No.
but that, to mix up the style of what they were wearing, and all they would do is change the collar. So I've kind of taken that little bit of inspiration with that traditional collar.
It changes it up, doesn't it? But
Absolutely.
also, as well, it changes the shape because you've got more of a curved one with that Peter Pan collar, and then you've got a more angular,
sharper collar as well. So if you wanted something a bit more, I want to say studious, but like
I know what you mean.
Do you know
like
what
quite
smarter, yeah, definitely, rather than the sort of gentle curve of the Peter Pan. So it definitely mixes it up for you, without a doubt. So yeah, the first thing that we're going to do is get cutting out our collar.
Okay.
But the way I'm going to be doing it, because I'm going to be adding some embellishment onto my collar, the first thing that I don't want to do, I don't want to be adding my pattern to my fabric, because I don't want to be cutting that collar out yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to be adding some hand embellishments, and then we're going to have some play with the machine as well. Because a lot of people have embroidery stitches on their machine, but have never felt the inclination to have a play with it.
Or maybe don't really know how to.
Exactly,
or what to.
Yeah. You never think to include them on anything like dressmaking. So I thought we'd mix it up with a bit of machine embroidery as well. So
lovely.
The first thing I'm going to be doing is actually cutting the interfacing out first, rather than the fabric. Okay,
right.
So don't go diving in, all right? So what I did do, if I just flip that over.
Oh, you've done it already.
I don't know if you can see that. So what I did, I went ahead and cut out my interfacing already. And I've actually ironed those in place. You can see there's the grain line there on the first collar, and there again on the second collar. So I've gone ahead and stuck those down. I've done the same process that we do when we normally do with patterns, where you get your tape measure out and make sure that you're on the grain line. So all you would do is just take your tape measure and just make sure that the arrows are in the same place, which they are.
So like it says here on your
pattern, exactly. So what I did is, because obviously the interfacing is see-through, I've placed that back on the pattern and then just traced it over with my water erasable pen, so it will come out in the wash. So don't worry, you're not going to see a big blue triangle coming through.
This is where it goes.
That will come out. But the main thing is that it's on a big piece of fabric. So what I can then do is add it to my embroidery hoop.
Okay. Okay.
So this is why I didn't want to cut it out, because it'd be very difficult. It'd be difficult.
It's a slightly awkward shape to fit in a
Yeah,
hoop.
difficult shape, and you won't get everything you need. And the detail that I want is going to be on where that curve. In this case, I'm doing the curved collar, so I want that detail there. Whereas if I'm sticking it in the hoop, I'm going to be covering up that area. I don't want to do that. So the tip for me would be stick the interfacing on the fabric first. Don't cut it out, and then use your hoop.
And at least as well, once you've popped the interfacing on, you know which section is going to be the part that you're using.
Yeah,
so you know where you're going to embroider.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, because of the way the print is here, you can clearly see some of the patterns of the floral. So you could definitely do some. Well, it's not really fussy cutting, but it will be when we cut it out. But fussy placing,
fussy laying.
Exactly, because I really like the floral details here and here, and there again here and here. So I wanted to make sure that's where I put my Peter Pan collars in the first place. So if I just flip that over for you. So we're going to be working in this area first. If I come back around this way, so what I would do is, it's this area that I want to embroider. You could do the whole thing if you want, but because it's a small tutorial, I'm going to stick the hoop there. So that's the area that I want to be focusing on. So once I've got that there, then I can flip it over, and then I can take my other hoop and place that over the top like that. So you might just want to release the nut a little bit there, so you can get that over nicely. Now, don't worry about over tightening this, because obviously in embroidery you'd normally want like a sort of a drum skin, whereas it's just for a little bit of detail. So it's mainly just to make it easier for you, and you don't end up sewing everything together as well. So it is worth getting one of these hoops. I mean, I think this one's 6 inch, but I think we do different sizes. But
yeah, there are a couple of different size options.
So this is quite a nice handy size. So you can stick this in your bag with you when you're on the train.
Easy,
you only got a little 5 minutes, you know. So it's something nice you could do, you know, on the go. So the first thing I need to do is take my thread. So I'm going to take you through a couple of stitch options today. So I've gone with, we've got a multi-pack here with 100 skeins. There's so many colours in there.
It's like a
It's
Technicolor dream coat.
It's amazing. It really, really. If you can't find the colour in there, then you're not looking hard enough. Yeah, you're definitely not looking hard enough. So I've just gone with a couple of colours here, but you could knock yourself out. You really, really could. So I'm going to start with the pink. So I've just gone ahead and cut this to size already, and I'll just keep it on a peg just so it's easier. So this skin here has got 6 threads on it, 6 strands. So this is going to be too thick for us to work with.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to split this. So I've actually split it into 2. So that means you've got 3 threads each. This might be a little bit hard to see on camera.
I just hold that white behind it.
If I split them first, that might make it easier. So there's 1, 2, 3. You can see there's 3 threads there.
And that's the one.
Yeah.
So you've split from 6 to 3.
6 to 3. So I'm holding the 2 threads there. Then what I then do is just take my thumb. So I'm holding the thread and I'm passing my thumb down it. I just find that a little bit easier then.
Well, the 3 stay together quite happily. They won't just...
Yeah, exactly. And also another thing is you don't want your thread any longer than your sort of hand to elbow. Because otherwise you will get yourself into a bit of a pickle. All right, so I'm going to take my needle and get that threaded. So the first thing that I'm going to show you today is just going to be a simple running stitch and how it can be quite effective, especially on these beautiful flowers. Did you say they're inspired by India?
Yeah, this whole collection is sort of Indian inspired, with all those exotic flowers, and you've got butterflies and lovely sort of all different exotic prints in there. It's quite tropical feel.
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So the one thing that really stood out on me with the fabric, I mean, you could do this with any fabric and just look at the detail, but for me, it's these beautiful the stamens inside the inside of the
just
flowers.
That detail there that you
absolutely. So I'm going to be using the embroidery thread to just make those just pop a little bit more, really. So I'm just going to check which one. So it is that big orange one that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to be doing a really, really simple, long running stitch. And I'm just going to be picking out some of those long stamens. So I'm just going to come up through the fabric. So I have got a little knot on the end there. And I'm basically just going to be tracing. So I've done that one there. So rather than start back here, so if I just poke the needle out here, rather than going back there, I would go somewhere a little bit closer. So the distance is a little bit less.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to have less crossing over at the back as well,
less crossing over. And also, you save a bit of thread doing it that way.
That's so true.
You know, so, I mean, this is only a little quick tutorial, like I say, but even just doing something just as simple as this really just adds that little bit of extra sparkle.
Well, also, it's the sort of thing that it's when you look closely, or you might not notice it the first time you look at the dress, and then you see that you've got that detail
then you see
there.
That you've got that really lovely detail.
This is the Dashwood butterfly floral print. So this is coming in a bundle today. You get 3 meters of the fabric. And then you've also got your interfacing. You can see it there on the bodice, and that's the Peter Pan collar that we're making there. So you've got your interfacing and your thread as well. $38.95 for that one.
So I'm not being very particular about it. I mean, I said I'm tracing these stamen lines, but it doesn't matter if you just go slightly off. You don't have to be perfect about this thing. You're just adding that little bit of extra splash of colour.
It doesn't have to be everyone. You can just, you're just adding that detail.
Just that little
and
extra
adding the
detail.
pink there, well, obviously the colour ties in perfectly anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just bringing that pink back to that flower too.
So even though I've just done a couple of stitches, how many have I done there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just those 9 stitches there has just added that little extra detail in that flower already.
That took less than a minute.
Less than a minute. So you could go in more, you could really go to town on it. You could add a different colour in there as well to make different colour threads. But I just think just something like that just adds that little extra pop in that centre there. I just think that's a really, really nice, simple way of adding
absolutely.
that detail without going any further.
I think it would be nice to fill, you could, with that centre section of the flower as well.
I'm very glad you've said that. I'm very glad you've said that. Because what I went on to then do is actually do what's called a French knot in the centre of those. So I added them in the centre, but then you could also add them on the outer edge as well. So do you want me to show you how to do that?
Absolutely. So it's a bit of texture as well that you're creating.
Absolutely, yeah. So it becomes 3-dimensional. I mean, it pops anyway.
Then you can just, as well, it has that to touch.
Yeah. Everyone will be touching your collars.
Get off. Straight my collar.
Okay, so I've done a couple of those straight stitches there. So I'm just going to flip it over in the back. So you can see that's fairly neat on there. That's not causing any too much problem. And it is the interface side. And don't forget, there is going to be a piece of fabric backed onto this, so you're not going to see any of those stitches, so don't worry if it's messy. And it's rude to look on the back anyway.
No one needs to look at that
rude. Okay, so to do your French knot, what you need to do is bring your needle up from the back to the front, okay, and then taking this end, not that end, so not the part where the needle is, it's the bottom part here. You're going to take that thread, and you're going to, I like to keep the hoop on the ground, on the table, and then you're just wrapping that thread around the needle. So anything between 3 and 5 would be more than good. Try not to be too tight with that. You want to be able to move it. You want the thread to be able to go through that coil that you've created. And then what you're going to do is send the needle back down close to where you came up. And then as you then pull your needle through, just bring that back. What's going to happen here is that you're going to create a knot really close to the work.
Oh, yes. It's like a small little swirl you get there.
Swirl, absolutely. So if you just keep
you
doing
can see why
that,
you wouldn't want to be working with 6 threads within that. From that skip cut, because it would be really thick to pull through.
super tight one. So I'm just going to take that again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do. Pop it down there.
Give it a wiggle.
Give it a wiggle. So I like just to keep my finger on that area just to help. There you go. There's another one there.
So we're just popping French knots in the middle of that.
Just popping French knots in the middle there, just to give you that extra little bit of detail. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when you do your mental. Are you talking to yourself again, Jen?
Yes. Just having a count.
Yes, I'm talking to myself.
Having a little count with your French knot. I'm just going to go over and recap the fabric.
I'll try not to mumble.
I'll be hearing in the background. 1, 2, 3. See you back in a second. Okay, so we're going to just look at these fabric bundles again. So we've got 4 different options for the dress this morning. But I'll start by looking at this Joel Dewberry fabric, which is in the jacket that I'm wearing. So this one is, if you miss out today, then you won't be able to get it again. We've only got what we've got in stock. We won't be getting it back in. So it's incredibly popular this morning already. So if it is in your basket, just make sure that you do check it out. So the side that I've got on at the moment, I have to keep doing a swap around with the material. So this one here is your sort of a diamond print that you've got there. I don't know if you can see, there'll be a picture on your screen, but it's a lovely aqua tones on a white background. So you've got that really lovely sort of Arctic feel to that, and a great way to just inject some pattern and colour to a fabric, to an outfit. So $6.95 per half metre for that one. VYRW72. And it is limited stock, so just make sure if you want that one. We won't be getting it again. And then the other way, on the other side, I haven't done another change. This one is your, you've got this lovely floral print here in gorgeous aquas and turquoises and a dark teal. that slaty grey. And also the background has even got a pin dot. I don't know if you can see there. So you've got a real detail to it. And that's the Deco Bloom in mint. Again, by the half metre. So both of these fabrics are being cut to measure. So if you wanted, we sell it in half metre increments. If you wanted, say, 2 metres, that would be 4 units of fabric. So we will just cut it off the bolt and send it to you depending on how much you need. And if you like the cut of the jacket itself, we've also got the pattern this morning. So this is a cloth kits pattern. It goes up to size UK 8 to 18. So you can see there on the back, you've got, sort of talks you through your different bust, waist and hip measurements, so you can figure out which size you want. You've got your different sizes there. And this is a cloth kits pattern. You can see on the front as well, if I just show you that boxy design, where you've got that lovely straight edge coming down the front. And also what's nice is you can turn the collar back. So because it is reversible, if you've got the 2 fabrics, even if you did one, you know, in a solid colour, you could turn that back and you can peek through that other colour on the other side, which is just that nice, that lovely detail. So £12.95 for the cloth kits pattern. SGCY80 is your number for that one. So the most popular of the fabrics so far is actually this blue one. So you've got this cornflower blue. It's the most affordable option this morning. So really lovely if you do just want that uniform colour. A nice summery feel to that. You're getting 3 metres of the Spectrum solid there. You've got the iron-on interfacing and also a complementary thread. So the colours there just tying in really beautifully. Then the next one is the Amy Butler Cocoa Bloom, which is what we saw the dress in that's been fully made. So this again has got those gorgeous floral prints there, and also you've got your petals. You can see that on your screen. It's on a cream background, and we've got the most limited stock of this one. So again, if this is the one that takes your fancy this morning, give us a ring. So you've got those coral flowers, and you've also got lovely aquas, you've got some darker greens and khakis, and on that linen sort of coloured background. We've only got 4, did you say? We've only got 4 of these in stock left, so if you do love this one, give us a ring, 0800 112 4433 for that bundle. Again, comes with your thread. It's a lovely peachy, orangey thread actually with that. I'll just show you so you can see that works really well with the flower that we're using on the, you could use for this collar that we're working on this morning. So £40.95 for that one, GCGC, oh that's a nice code, GCGC40, a nice easy one. Then your next one is the Seven Berry. So a Japanese brand, you've got this lovely floral. This is really nice. While it's these spearminty sort of greens there, a very spring-like feel to these flowers. This is like a bit like a painting, because I think you've not got those sort of harsh lines. You've got really lovely sort of strokes of colour. So this is a linen green floral print, and $35.85 for that one there. Again with your interfacing and your thread. And then the last bundle, this is the one that we're making. This is from Dashwood, inspired by that Indian collection. Again in a bundle there. XIGC 93. That's the Dashwood butterfly floral print. And as if by magic, this is the one we're working with. So we left Jenny French knotting on the on the fabric.
So yeah, I've finished off my flower now, and I've even gone in again with a different colour there. So I've just added a little bit of the sunshine yellow into the centre there, just to add that extra bit of detail in the centre. So again, you can do as much or as little. Sometimes you have to go, do I need to stop now? Is that too much?
Do I need to take? No, you can
keep going.
Yeah. Never too much. Well, also it depends. You know, if you've got the time and you want to, why not? If you're taking the time to make the dress, and then you've got. Like you say, you could do this sat on the sofa in front of the telly. It's just a nice...
Absolutely. And also with, well, I'm wearing an embroidered top today. It's really, really on trend at the moment. So don't be afraid to get out your stash of flossies and add a little bit of little detail in your dresses. So, I mean, this is a really beautiful dress for all occasions. But if you really wanted it for a really special occasion, something maybe like a wedding, then adding some simple embroidery details, not only on, let's say, the collar area, but maybe even on the bodice or at the hem hemline, just adding that little extra special detail it means you've spent that extra bit of time into it and a bit of love and care.
Well, it's also just adding that extra level of like, a professional sort of finish to it.
And it really will make it unique then, you know. I mean, these are beautiful, beautiful fabrics, but adding that hand touch finish with the little bit of embroidery detail on certain areas of your garment just really just take it up to that next level, I think. So
this is the one here you can see if you want to see the whole dress. So you can see that that cut there. We actually made this on a previous show. It was the 30th of March. So if you want to go back and watch on YouTube, we really focused on how to create this bodice because you've got the curves here. It was the 10 a.m. show on the 30th. If you want to go back and look, it talks you all through. So if you've got the pattern, how to create that lovely shape. So you've got Jenny holding your hand on that one. If you go
definitely.
back and watch that one.
Technical one on the 30th and a bit of creativity today.
Yes.
So everything you need to make the dresses with you. So the last thing that I'd like to show you is a little embroidery detail again, which is a really nice and simple one, I think, is the daisy.
Okay.
So you can never have too many flowers.
No,
so why not add another flower
mad.
in there? So I've gone with the lovely sort of spearmint green on this because again I just think it really complements with what we've got going on in the print already. So to do your daisy chain again you need to take your needle in from the back to the front, and what you're basically going to do is creating a loop. Okay, so what you need to do is come in close to where you've just come out. Okay, and then you're going to pop the needle out like so. Okay, so what you're going to do is take this thread and you're going to wrap it around that needle.
We just come in a little bit closer, we'll be able to see. So we went in and then out, really close to where.
So if I just reverse, so I've come out the needle, come out the fabric once. So I've got the thread at the top of the fabric. I'm coming in really close to that thread, and I'm popping out. So this is depends on how big or how small you want your daisy to be. Or your petal to be, sorry, we've not quite made a daisy yet, almost. So it's come in and out, so my needle is in the fabric, I'm not touching it. I'm taking the thread and I'm going to wrap it underneath that needle, so it's creating a loop, yeah? So now you're ready to pull your thread.
It's knotting itself, isn't it, as you...
Yeah, so that's anchoring it. That thread is currently anchoring the top of that loop. Okay, so to secure it properly, what you need to now do is take the needle just over your thread, and that gives you your single petal.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so now we just need to repeat that. So to give yourself a nice, even daisy, I like to work in sort of in a clock position. So I'm just going to spin this around so it makes it easier for me. So I've just done the 12 o'clock and I've spun it around to make it 6 o'clock. So now I'm going to do 12 o'clock again.
How many petals do you think you would do? Would you do 6 probably?
It's entirely up to you. So I've done, how many would that be? 6. I've done 6 on that. So making sure that I'm always working in the sort of the 12 and 6 o'clock position, just because I find it easy to sort of sew in that position really. So there's that one there. So again, I'm just going to spin it round. So this time...
But if you did 4, it would be like a clover, wouldn't it? You could do lovely... It's completely up to you.
Absolutely. And this is what's so lovely about doing this hand finish, because it really is, it's your work. It's whatever you want it to be. There is no right and wrong as far as the flower is concerned in my book. So again, I'm just anchoring the top of that petal there. And I'm going to do it again on the other side. So you want to be coming out through the centre of your flower. Okay? So you can see the petals starting to be created now. I'm just going to spin that round for you.
Very therapeutic, I think, as well, to just do something.
It's just lovely.
Just take your time and do, you know, as we were saying, you can add as much or as little as you want to.
Absolutely.
If you want to stop and have a cup of tea, you can stop and have a cup of tea.
You can stop and have a cup of tea, absolutely. So again, I'm just creating that loop there. You don't want to pull that too tight. You do want a nice round petal. So that's just 4.
I like it like that.
You could just leave it like that if you wanted to. I'm going to go in and go...
These would look beautiful as well in these flowers that aren't as busy, where you've got on that print. So say like these plainer flowers there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is your fabric bundle from Dashwood, this particular print that you can see here. So you get 3 meters of fabric, which is enough to make the dress in any of those sizes. So it goes from 8 to 18. This is the pattern as well from Cloth Kits this morning. So you've got that princess line bodice, the lovely swirl of the skirt, perfect if you are into dancing. But again, we were saying for a wedding or for a special occasion, or if you're going on holiday and it's just nice to pop on something a bit smarter in the evenings, isn't it? So it's that 50s tea dress. JBCY16. Look lovely with a big beach bag and you could just stroll along the beach. Really lovely. So that, yeah, £12.95 for that one. And this is the dress that you can see here.
It's lovely.
And all of those fabric bundles this morning, you've got enough fabric to make the dress in any of those sizes. So all you would need to add to that is the zip, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So other than that, you've got everything you need to make the dress.
Cool, so I've done my little daisy there. So again, I've gone
lovely.
with 6 petals, but again, it's your daisy. You can do what you
Whatever
want.
you like.
You could even do a chain if you want. It doesn't have to be in the
Yeah,
flower.
you could link
just
all the
keep
way
linking,
around.
just keep going. So rather than where we did the little jump over the top of the loop, you would do another link together. Does that make sense?
So you just keep looping.
You just keep looping. So you do your loop, and then rather than going in the fabric again, you go up the fabric to create the next loop, to create the next loop,
So then you get a chain.
So then you get the chain. So that's basically the daisy stitch. So the last thing I want to show you is just how to cast off. So you know how to do that. So this is the back of my work. So again, we don't normally show this to everybody, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I'm going to go underneath the one of the strands closest to me to create a loop, and I'm just going to wrap my thread around my needle. So it's very similar to a French knot, but we're not doing 5 wraps, okay? So I'm just popping my finger on top of that just to make sure that that knot does go close to the work. So that's one, and I'm going to do one more. So again, just go under the loop, around the needle to create a little knot, and my finger is just keeping that knot nice and close to the work, and then you're ready to snip. Just snip it off. So that's it, that's my little bit. So obviously, again, I've just done a couple of pieces there, but you could just keep going with this. You really, really could keep going with it. So I've just released my hoop there. So that all I've got to do now is cut it out. So that's the reason why I left it in a big piece, so I can just keep working my hoop around the fabric without having to fight with that small piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So I'm
just a quick warning, the Joel Dewberry fabric, which is in this jacket that I'm wearing this morning, really limited stock on that now. So there's 2 different prints. You've got the bloom one there, and then the triangles in that aqua print. So if you do like it, it's the last time it will be on air if it sells out today, so it won't be back. So just add it to your basket, £6.95 per half metre. That's the Deco Bloom fabric in mint. Half the stock has already gone for that this morning. EWRW84. And then the other one is your triangles there. Quite a geometric sort of print in those pyramids. And you've got a stripe through that triangle, which is lovely as well. This one's the Pyramids fabric in mint. We're not reordering this one either, so VYRW72, limited stock, so £6.95 per half metre.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
It is. It's one of those this morning. If you miss it, you miss out.
It's really lovely to work with that fabric. I remember making that jacket.
You made this one?
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was really
Making
lovely.
my wardrobe for me this morning.
You're putting your oars in, aren't you, Amy? No, but it is. It's just a lovely, lovely
It's a lovely cut
fabric.
as well. Not only that, but the actual jacket itself, I think, is a really... well, we've got the pattern, but it's just a flattering fit.
Really nice fit, isn't it? But again, if we talk about, trends or fads at the moment, geometric prints and embroidery are so in at the moment.
Embroidery,
they really are.
every denim jacket you see in the shops at the moment is covered.
Yes.
And jeans as well, actually,
Absolutely.
I saw recently.
Yeah, blouses, jeans,
everything.
jackets, you name it, everything has got embroidery on. So do it at home, DIY it, why not? Okay, so we've got our plain collar here, and we've got our embroidered collar there. So obviously you could do both or one, but I'm going to do some machine embroidery on the other side, so you get the best of both worlds. So the first thing that I need to do is obviously create my collar. So I've got my 2 front pieces, and I've got my back piece here. Okay, actually I've got the wrong one. This is the one I wanted. So this is the interfaced one. So you want your collar to be sturdy. You want it to have a nice shape. You don't want it to. You don't want a floppy collar.
Stand, no.
Yeah, you don't want a floppy collar.
No.
So you do want that structure. So this is why it's interfaced. Okay. So it wasn't just because we're doing some embroidery. So I'm just going to put the right sides together and sew those together very quickly with a 1.5 seam allowance.
Okay.
And then we can get on with the fun part of using our machine.
So we're matching the square end. That's how you're lining that up.
That's right, yeah. So I'm just going to do 1.5 seam allowance. So I've just got a pink cotton in here. which you don't need to worry about too much because we're going to see it. But the reason why I've gone with this really hot pink is I want to be able to see the stitches that I'm going to be doing in a minute on the machine.
And also, it just works really well with those flowers that you did even by hand with that pink.
Absolutely.
Thread. Speedy Gonzalez this morning, straight through.
Straight through. Okay. So this is basically the shape of your collar. So if you're going to do what I've done on the other mannequin, which is like a detachable collar, where you can choose to add it to a garment that you already have, or if you want to add it onto your dress. So with the dress that we've got behind us, you can either have it with or without a collar.
You could just pop it on.
Just by doing the detachable collar, so you don't have to make the whole dress up. So it's a little cheat for you. It's the same principle. So what would normally happen is this is the shape of the collar that would go around the neckline, and this would get sewn into this section before adding your facing, which is the inside,
so it would be,
which is that part there. That's
sandwiched in the middle.
Yeah, so it would be sandwiched between those two layers. Whereas if you're going to make the detachable one, you're going to sew the whole thing up, but make sure you leave a gap. So I would go with the back side of your collar. So this is the back, this is the front. So when you do make the collar, make sure you leave a gap, and you're basically turning it out like a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the only difference between having the collar on the actual garment or having the detachable. That's the only difference. Okay. So this is where the fun bit comes in.
Okay, we like that.
So very much with the embroidery, you can see that I've kept away from what would be our seam allowances. So in this garment, it's a 1.5 seam allowance. Okay. You want to do the same if you're going to be playing with your machine. So what I would suggest doing before you go ahead on the machine, I would draw in your seam allowances, and that way you know you're not going to sew over them.
It's a bit of a waste of time, isn't it, to embroider on a part? If you do it on all of this, you go to the trouble of doing all of the edge, and then it's just hidden.
Exactly. So all I'm going to do very quickly, because I'm just going to keep the detail to the very edge. I want it quite close to where the edge of the collar would be, which is where I'm drawing now. But I'm literally just using the tape measure and my water erasable pen.
It still feels so wrong to draw onto the right side of the fabric.
What are you doing? Yeah. I mean, obviously you could use chalk, but I just find that this
it's much more obvious, isn't it?
It just stays that little bit longer, that's all. Another good point about this is that if you are going to make it detachable, you're going to want to put a ribbon in.
Yes,
to tie it into the centre. So if I was you, I would actually draw the corner of the seam allowances there, and then that way you know where to pop your ribbon into. Okay, so make sure you do draw that corner in.
Just creating that space.
So that'll be enough for me to do my embroidery detail, I think. So now, this is where it gets exciting, because we get to use the machine. So this is a wonderful one, because you've got a menagerie.
Loads of different stitches.
Of stitches that you've probably never even looked at, let alone used.
We just stick to these. You probably use.
It's probably straight
one
stitch.
to four, yeah.
Straight stitch every time. Maybe a buttonhole, maybe a bit of a
zigzag, maybe.
Whereas you've got everything here. So everything that I'm looking at the moment is going to be from 22 on this machine all the way through to 50.
Well, so many options.
So many options.
We can't fit all of those on one collar.
Can we?
I challenge you, Jenny.
Oh, okay. So let's see which one do you think would look nice? These look very interesting. Those ones. Do you want
almost
to go?
like a petal, that shape there.
They are like a petal. Should we go with number 23
Let's
then?
give it a try.
It's your colour. Let's go 23. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go quite close to... I mean, this is your colour. It really just depends on how close or how far away from the edge you want to go. But because you've drawn that in, I know that when I start stitching, it's not going to be anywhere near...
The edge.
The edge, that's the main thing.
This is going to be visible. It's going to be
visible. So I'm going to change my stitches now. So it's 23, so I'm just going to whiz through all of that. So obviously a good idea before you jump in, not like we are, is to get a scrap bit of fabric, have a little play and go, actually, does that work? I want
that? What does that look like in reality? Because obviously it might look... On a fabric, it might look slightly different if you've got a scrap of...
Absolutely. And if you went for something a bit more ornate, like let's say number 46, for instance, which is more like a kind of smocking kind of stitch, are you going to see it as well? It's probably something you want to check.
You could play with different colours as well.
Absolutely. Oh, a variegated thread would look great. Oh, lovely. So I'm going to go. So the main thing about this is that you really don't push or pull. You let the machine do its stitches. All you're going to be doing really is just guiding it around that curved edge. So a good
Oh, I like
point
this.
would be when it gets to a point like there, so I'm just going to drop the needle. So this is coming towards, if my shape is like that, so I need to, when I get to the point, I'm leaving it at that point, then I'm lifting my foot and rotating round a little bit. So
And where you've got that guide that you've drawn on with the pen, you can see exactly where you need to.
So I've come to a point, so now this is a really quite a tight corner, so I'm just going to spin that around again. Now that's quite a smooth corner, so I could probably just angle that round myself. But if it is a tight corner, try and turn on the points where it gets thin. So if I just stop for a second. So where, if I bring the scissors in, so where the points are there, that's where I would suggest that you start turning rather than somewhere midway stitch.
Yeah, so you're not going to lose that shape.
Yeah,
you
so
get the whole complete.
Exactly, so let the motif finish before you start rotating. That would be my tip.
That looks really beautiful on that fabric. I like this shape.
Good choice.
This, to me, almost looks a little bit like a necklace, and because this is a collar, I think it's almost like a bead, isn't it? A bead is
Absolutely. So not only can you do your hand embroidery, but have a play with your machine.
Yeah.
Have a play with your machine. I mean, you could even add beads on it or anything.
Embellishments of any. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's your collar. Do what you like with it.
I can't believe how quick that is as well.
I haven't even got my foot fall down.
I know, but versus the obviously doing it by hand, you've got those two options. You can do it mix and match, do a bit of both.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to do up into what would be the shoulder seam. You can go all the way around like I have done on my collar. So the embroidery is on the back as well. But just so you can see what we've done, we just lift that up. Move that out of the way.
We've got just over 10 minutes, so we've...
So there you go. So there we have. How cute is that?
I really like that stitch. I think that looks lovely.
This looks really nice, doesn't it? Just adds that little bit of
It is like a necklace, and I think it is just like little beads all around the edge of your collar.
All the way around. So once you've done your detail, this is where you can then get on to actually making your collar. So I'm going to change my stitch, get it cut out, and then we can stitch it together.
Okay.
So I'm just going to turn it on and off. That's the quickest way of doing it.
So we're working with a cloth kits pattern this morning and creating a vintage tea dress. We're specifically focusing on the collar because there are two options. It guides you through in the pattern. There are instructions for two different collar options. So you've got this Peter Pan collar, which is the lovely curved one there, which has a lovely soft feel to it. And then the other option is a sharper, more angular collar, which we were saying is quite studious, a smarter look. So, you've just got the option there to customise it however you wish. This particular fabric is the Dashwood Studio bundle. So you get 3 meters of fabric, which is enough to make the dress in any of the sizes in the pattern, up to a size 18. So $38.95. You've got your interfacing there, which we're using to make the collar more sturdy, give it that professional finish and feel, and the thread as well. XIGC 93.
Brilliant.
And the pattern there is just at the bottom of your screen.
Okay. So I've just repeated the collar, so I've got two collars now.
Yeah.
One will be the front, one will be the back. And what you would need to do is obviously trim and press your seams open, okay? But because we're making a detachable collar, we need to add in some ribbon. So I've just taken some stash at home. And remember we drew in the corners, so we know where the seams allowance are going to be.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to be popping my ribbon. Okay, so the most important thing here is that you make sure you put your ribbon the right way. Okay, so you need to make sure that the length of the ribbon is going onto the fabric, so it's not going this way. Because if you were to pop it that way, when you sew it, it's on the inside.
Ah,
okay,
yes.
That's what it's going to be like when we've finished. But in order to get that finish, it needs to be that way. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little pin there.
We've got some ribbon in the next hour, so some different colour options there. But that white one looking, a little bit of sparkle as well. Very classic.
A little bit of sparkle. Is this a centre? No, it's orange. Okay, that's close enough for me. And I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. So what I would do, before we sew our other side of the collar on, I would just do a quick tacking stitch within the seam allowances. So just, there's the edge of the seam allowances, so anywhere between here and there, just to keep it in place before we do the next step. Yeah, just security, just for the next step, that's all. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that underneath.
This is the dress you can see here. I might just grab the collar, actually, the detachable collar. So you can see that one on your screen. This is the Peter Pan collar that we're creating there. But I'm also just going to take this one off. So this is the detachable collar that we're making. So we were saying you could add this to anything. Once you've got the pattern and you know what you're making, you could pop that onto a t-shirt or a vest top or anything at all, just adding that extra detail. And this is the ribbon section that you can see there that we're just working on. So really pretty.
It is cute.
It's really sort of pretty touch.
And it's a really nice way of jazzing up a garment that you already have at home, do you know what I mean? So, and again, like...
a plain top or anything.
So if you really, really like, let's say we're working with this fabric and you really like the plain version, but you want the option of the two dresses with or without a collar, just do a detachable collar.
Yeah.
Because there will be enough fabric in there to do that.
Well, like if you did say you did the dress in just the cornflower blue in a plain, in a solid, also you could just add, couldn't you? Getting creative now.
Oh, you're getting creative
you could
now.
add the you could add a pattern just in the collar, and then you've got the option to
jazz it up.
to just spice it up a bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all I've done while we've been chatting about our wonderful colours, I've just tucked my ribbons out of the way by pinning them in place. There's no rhyme or a specific way of doing it. Just make sure they're nowhere near that 1.5 seam allowance, either this side or that side of your fabric.
Don't want them getting stuck
we do not want to be sewing those in, otherwise we will get into trouble. Okay, so now it's going to be your right sides together, and you're going to want to match up your seams. Okay, so this is where the two shoulder seams meet, so you might want to pop a pin into those areas. Okay, so that's just to make sure that they line up nicely, and I'm going to repeat that again on the other side. So again, just open the seams out to reduce the bulk. Okay, obviously if you've pressed this would be a lot easier at home. There we go, we've opened that out. Just popping a pin in between that seam line there, just so they're matching up on either side. And then you can just go ahead and keep pinning in place. Because we're running out of time, I'm going to go for it. But
Be bold.
Absolutely. But remember, we talked about you need to leave a gap. If you don't leave a gap, then you're going to have an inside-out collar. So this is the straightest part. This is a bit too curved, but this is the straightest part on that garment to leave. So you can start here or there, either way, but make sure you leave a decent enough gap, so then we can pull everything out later and like a cushion, then hand sew it. So I'm going to start here and work my way around.
And also that's at the back anyway, isn't it? So
yeah, you're not going to see it.
Your hair's probably going to cover that part anyway.
Exactly. Okay, so I am going to do a locking stitch here, because obviously you're going to be pulling something through, so you need to make sure that it doesn't come undone. So obviously at home you would take your time on this, you would pin it in place as well, but I'm just going to bodge it. It's all about the bodging today.
This time.
Just following around the curve. So again, don't be afraid to sort of stop, lower your needle, lift if you need to, and rotate.
Just on those curves.
Just on those curves. Because you do want a nice smooth curve. You don't want scraggly curves. Okay, so I'm just going to pivot that. So I haven't quite gone enough, so let me do one more stitch. There you go, that's perfect. So again, I've got a 1.5, so I know I'm not going to catch my ribbon because I drew it in earlier on.
We're all pinned. If you have just tuned in, we're not just, the pattern that we're selling isn't just for the collar, it's the whole dress. So you can see that on your screens. That's the vintage tea dress, and we've actually got it in real life, which is probably better to show you anyway. I'll bring it in so you can see. So it's really lovely. You've got that princess line bodice. This is in the Amy Butler Cocoa Bloom fabric, so a lovely summery one there. But you can just see that fit. It's giving you that really lovely cinched in at the waist. And the pattern is for size 8 to 18. And also that lovely, there's a lovely swirl to the skirt. You can't, we're behind the table, but there is a lovely swish to it.
Well, the skirt on that is actually cut on the bias, so we're working with the grain of the fabric on that, so it's adding that extra swoosh.
So you've got that way.
Extra swoosh. We always like a bit of extra swoosh. So I'm just opening out my seam there. It's just tucked under. We don't want a bulky collar. Okay, so I'm just working around to my second side of my collar now.
Okay, got about 3 minutes.
That's fine. So again, I'm just coming to the point, so this is where you want to pivot. Oh, I got it right that time, yay! Okay, so I'm just working around super quick.
So we have the interfacing on one side, just to give us that structure and sturdiness.
Yeah. And that would be the case anyway, regardless of whether you're making a detachable collar or
not,
or attaching it to your garment. You would definitely need to interface that collar. Otherwise, like you say, we'll have a soggy collar, and nobody wants that. So I'm just coming towards the end of my section now, so I'm just going to do a quick back stitch. Okay. So there we have. So we've sewn all the way around that. So the last thing we need to do now, because this is all curved, you do need to reduce the seam allowances and clip. But a really quick way of doing that would be to take your pinking shears.
Okay.
Otherwise, what you're going to have to do is do big V cuts like that. And that's going to take absolutely forever.
Yes.
Whereas with this, it does it in one big cut.
Lots of little triangles.
Lots of little triangles. So all you need to do is just go around. You want to make sure that you are going really close to that edge. Otherwise, you won't really get the pink that you're looking for.
So that's just giving you the flexibility to move the fabric and open it out.
To move the fabric around, absolutely.
So they're the Fiskars pinking shears that Jenny's using there.
They're
Just
definitely worth
saves you
getting.
having to. It gives you, that edge without having to, like you just said, it'd be very time consuming.
Well, normally you would use pinking shears to finish off raw edges, so they
quilting
and they're just so that makes your clothes last longer because you're finishing the seam off with a pinked edge. But clipping corners, which is what we're doing at the moment, just get your pinking shears out. It's so much quicker, and it's just as effective.
Just a miniature version.
It is absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to do that one side and then we're going to turn it out. I know I haven't clipped the other side, but...
So GWGQ39 for the pinking shears there.
So all we need to do now is find our hole. There we go. So just be careful when you are pulling this out because remember we did pop a pin...
In the ribbon.
For the ribbon, okay? So please don't stab yourself. But if you do stab yourself and you end up getting blood on your collar, a tip would be to chew a piece of cotton. So you have saliva on the cotton and then dab it and it will take the blood out.
Really?
Yeah, it won't stain. I can't do it with you. So if you bled on it,
it has to be your own enzymes.
It has to be your own saliva, so you can't. It won't work on everything. But as long as it's your blood,
it will work.
And your saliva, it will come out and will not stain the garments. That's a little tip for you.
So just finishing off, pull that through. We've got your ribbon there.
Ta-da! There's the pin. Didn't get stabbed, always a bonus.
No saliva necessary this morning.
You don't want my in cold saliva today, it's vital. Okay, so this is where you need to get your pokey tool out. But effectively...
Okay, great.
There we have our lovely embroidered collar. Looks super soft.
Oh, thank you very much, Annie. We've run out of time, but so we've finished that lovely collar there with your ribbon and we looked at the machine embroidery. I love that detail that we've added there to that, like a little necklace around the edge. But you're back at 10 o'clock.
I am.
And we're making a tunic.
We are. We're going all summer ready.
Ready for the beach.
Definitely.
Okay, well, I'll see you in a minute. I'm just going to head back over to the other side. So we'll look at these fabric options that we've got this morning. Just a warning about the Joel Dewberry. So this is the fabric that I've got in this jacket here this morning. We've got really limited stock. Oh, which one sold out? Oh, there's only 2 units of this one on your screen left, so we won't be getting it back. This is the last time we'll have it on the show. So if you want it, just make sure you do pop it in your basket and check it out. And that's the Deco Bloom. There's only 1 metre left of that one, so £6.95 per half metre. Then on the other side of the jacket, which is the one that I've got on at the moment, is your triangle print, which is really beautiful. You've got, again, that minty, spearminty colour, a very fresh colour palette there. And again, this will probably be the last time we have it on the show as we won't be getting it back in stock. So VYRW72 for that pyramids print. And there's only 3 metres of that one left, so just get in quick if you do want that one. 0800 112 4433. So we've bought you bundles. We've been looking, first of all, I'll just quickly show you the pattern for the jacket that we've got on. So this is a reversible jacket. It's again been incredibly popular this morning. The Cloth Kits patterns, really comprehensive guide, sort of with all of your instructions and the pattern itself in there. That's for sizes 8 to 18. You're getting 2 jackets really because you can reverse it. You can see here just behind, you've got that in the two fabric options. And as I mentioned earlier, it's lovely to be able to just turn that collar back and inject another bit of pattern there when you do so. So that's the reversible jacket SGCY80. Then I'll just go through the bundles quickly that we've had for that dress option this morning for the vintage tea dress. So in all of these, you're getting 3 meters of fabric, your thread and your interfacing. The first one you've got is your cornflower blue. So this is a Spectrum Solid, a really rich uniform colour, a lovely, lovely tone of blue there. 3 meters, $20.95. So that's the most affordable option. And you can always, with that detachable collar, you could add a splash of pattern if you wanted to add a designer patterned fabric to that. Your next one is your Amy Butler. This one is very low in stock. This is the one we saw in the full dress on the mannequin. GC40, that's the Cocoa Bloom. Then the next one is your Severnberry. So this is your beautiful spearmint greens, and you've got a bright green and an avocado green there in the floral. We were saying this is a bit like a painting, really, because you've not got those strong, bold lines. Instead, you've got lovely colour strokes in the flowers. $35.85 for that one. This one is the most popular. It's the one we were working with the collar this morning, and it's the one you can see here on the mannequin. So this one here is your Dashwood Studio, inspired by India with those exotic flowers and butterflies. XIGC 93 for that one. And that one is $38.95. So you've got your 4 different fabric options there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in 3 minutes. And in the next hour, I've got a lovely selection of nautical fabrics. So perfect for the bathroom or the beach or anything outdoorsy. So I'll see you in 3 minutes.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step. Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter! When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
lovely to have you here with me in this hour, which is beside the seaside. So we've got some gorgeous nautical fabrics and lovely beach huts and whales and fish and lots of options for some summery prints. We've also got a premiere of some fabrics, which I'm really excited to share with you this morning. Never had them on the show before. I'm going to wait a second just to show you. I've got them ready here to reveal, so I'll do that in a bit. But first of all, we've got some Spectrum Solid bundles in those nautical colours, which would work really well with the patterned fabrics or on their own. So I'm going to start with this one. The price of this bundle, £7.95, so you're getting 3 half metres, so 1.5 metres in total in 3 different colours. Really great value on this one. I'll start with your navy. So you're getting 0.5 metre of this, 0.5 metre of your navy there, which is your great as well for a more masculine project where you've got that navy. I always think it's a very smart colour. £7.95, that's going to go super quick. PQGC 94 for 1.5 metres of fabric there, so 3 different 0.5 metre colours. Now we've got another, that's our first bundle. We've got another colourway option. This one's limited stock already, so I'll just talk you through your colours. You've got your lovely Union Jack colours here in your red, white and blue. And these are really bold, bright reds and blues here. So this is like a poppy red. A really rich red there. Then you've got a nautical blue, which again is really bright, like your Union Jack, or again with that nautical theme. And then you've got a nice crisp white there. This is optical white. Can never have too much white, can you? So this one is £8.95 for 1.5 metres again of fabric in your 3 different colours. MWGC 52 for that one. So, there it is, you can see on your screens there. Now, I'm excited for this. We know you love your Premier fabrics when you've not seen them before. We've got a lovely launch of a new fabrics on the show today that we've never seen before. So I'm going to start one at a time. I'll show you the first one first. So, which one to start with? I don't know which one to go. I'm going to go for the whales. So these fabrics are 80% cotton and 20% polyester, but they have a linen type weave to them. They almost feel like a canvas. They're much thicker than a regular cotton. Really great for those durable home projects. So this one here is your whales, which is really lovely. You've got your blue whales, a premiere of these on the show today, and a great price as well, £4.95 for 0.5 metre. And there's a real thickness to it and a sturdiness, which would be great. This would work really well for blinds or curtains, perhaps in a bathroom. That's your first one. Your second one is your nautical stripes. So again, with those red, whites and blues. Look at this. This is, again, would be lovely for a blind. I'm going to just show you these really quickly so you can see them all. Different thicknesses of stripes there, again on that linen texture background. MTFG 86, £4.95 for that one. Then your next one is your hearts. So really lovely for homeware. I think this would be really beautiful to, in a bedroom or again, even in the kitchen or a conservatory. You've got, because of that natural feel of the linen and the colours as well, all different hearts there. CEFG 37. And our last Premier fabric, like the hearts, but different shapes, we're going for stars. So you've got your khaki, red, grey and cream stars, again on that lovely natural background. BFFG 79. And all of these just mix and match really well. You can see that the undertone or the background of all of those fabrics is the same. So your blues tying in really well there across the whales and the stripes. And then again with your stars and hearts. Producer Paul's saying the whales are his favourite. Bit of character there. So those are our Premier fabrics this morning. I'll come back and go through them in more detail later, but I just wanted to show them to you first so you can see. I'll leave those there so that we can keep them in sight. And then we've got so many lovely options for beachy nautical fabrics this morning. So again, these are by the half metre. When you buy cut to measure fabrics from us here at Sewing Quarter, they are cut to measure, they're cut off the bolt, and we sell them in half metre increments. So they'll be, if you wanted 2 metres of fabric, that would be 4 units. So if you wanted 5 metres, that would be 10 units. So we're cutting that off by the half metre. So we'll start with this Beach Huts fabric here. I'm going to open. I'll just move it out so you can see. So a lovely traditional beach hut with in your navy and different colourways of blue, and also your red and orange there. You can see all your colours there on the selvage. $5.45 per half metre. That's the Beach Huts from Makawa. All of these are from the Marina range by Makawa, with that beach-like feel. Then your next one, I really like this one. This is like a whole collection of things that you'd find at the seaside. So you've got starfish, you've got different, anchors and lighthouses and life rings, or all of those there, and shells. So this is the Icon Scatter on the light blue background. JPMY 84. The next one we've got is a nice bold print here on your red. This is, you've got your sailing boats and anchors on this. This would be really lovely for a dress, actually. That vintage tea dress we've just done in the last hour, you could make a really summery version of that in this fabric. So tossed yachts on red background there, $5.45 again. Then your next one, this is like a mosaic of all different icons and motifs, again, that you would find at the seaside. Lovely little seagulls there. And you could, it's like a montage. It's called montage fabric. So you could fussy cut these and add them to different projects. Really gorgeous. And our last one is our fish. So you can see that here. All of these mix and match really well. Of the same collection, you've got those complementary colours, but you can see your lovely little fish there. This really would be great for the bathroom, I think, for a blind, or even, if you have a cushion in the bath, something like that, just adding some colour if you've got a plain, a white bathroom. So that's the Fish's blue fabric, SHMY 98. Again, $5.45. So you've got 5 different fabrics there from the Marina collection from Makawa. But I'm going to come back to the premier fabrics that we've not had on the show before. So we're going to start with the favourite one, which one is it at the moment? The whales. So this is the first one we started with. I'm going to open it out so you can see a little bit more of the print. So you've got your gorgeous whales there. What's lovely about this fabric, it really does have much more of a thickness to it compared to those normal cottons. You get a real a texture. And it's got a linen weave to it. I don't know if you can see any closer, but there is a really lovely texture in that background. And a natural feel in the colour there as well. As we come in, you can start to see that weave to the fabric. And the whales are lovely anyway. What's not to like about a whale? So you've got those lovely navy whales. I think this would be great for again, if you were making a gift, perhaps for a husband or someone like that. This would be great for a wash bag or a toiletry bag, because you've got that water theme to it. I'll open it up so you can see a little bit more. You've got a linen feel to it, or bathroom blinds. Really lovely. You can see that texture there when we hold it up, actually. Perhaps the light's slightly different. But it's definitely got a durability to it because it is that mix. So OJFG58. When we launch new fabrics on the show, they're always really popular. And remember as well, I love to hear from you, particularly when I haven't got a guest with me this hour. So you're my company. You can get in touch. You can either you can drop us a message, email us studio@sewingquarter.com, or you can head to the website. So I'll just show you how you do that. If you go to sewingquarter.com, Then at the top, there are all different sort of tabs. And if you click on the Watch tab, you'll see the live feed from the shows there. If you scroll down, there's a message to the studio box. You can say hello, ask us any questions if there are particular fabrics that you want to see again, or perhaps you've got a project idea or a question for our designers. Jenny's back on at 10 o'clock. So get in touch. And just below that, you can see there, that's a shopping list of everything we've got on today's show. So as we go through the hours, the different fabrics and tools and things that we have are all added to that shopping list. So it's a really easy and accessible way to see what's been on the show this morning and to add those to your basket if you want to. So we've just looked at the whales. I'm going to look now at the nautical stripe. So let's look in a bit more detail. Let's open it out. So lots of people multi-buying these. I think as well because the collection just works really well together, particularly the whales with this stripe. I think the colour palette there working really well together. But you've got your, if I lay it out, perhaps we can come in and see. You've got that lovely textured background there on the neutral. It has a natural feel to it. MTFG86. If I just bring the whales in as well, you can see those two next to each other. Let's just line those up. You can see how those blues match. And because the background fabric is the same, works really, really well together. So, just a stock warning as well on the nautical bundle. So, we've got under 10 of those left. So these bundles were a really good value this morning. That's why I started the show with them. So we've got 3 different Spectrum solids in a bundle there, a navy, a blue and a cream. And then the other option is your red, white and blue. So this one is the one that's limited stock. We're in single figures of this one now. So if you are after that one, just add it to your basket. It's because it's great value, $8.95 for 3.5 meters, MWGC 52. I'll go back to where we were, but I just wanted to let you know in case you... So the next one is your hearts. This particular one I think would work really well for a bag because you've got the strength in this fabric, because it is thicker, you've got that durability, you've got that, the option there for it to be able to hold things that are slightly heavier, slightly thicker. As I move it there, you can see the thickness in it. It's almost an OT coloured background there with your taupes and that lovely dark slate grey, almost moving towards a khaki. And then you've got a burgundy and a pink heart. So you can embellish that, with some gorgeous feminine ribbons or buttons. This would be lovely for, we've got a pattern actually for a tote in the show at 11 o'clock, and I think that would work really well, a tote bag. Particularly if you've got lots of heavy things that you're carrying, perhaps if you're taking, a shopper bag, you don't want to buy your carrier bags, it's got that weight to it. And then the last one in that collection, lots of people adding these to their baskets, and because it's a premiere and it's a launch. So I will just say, if it is, just make sure you do check it out. It's not to add any sort of pressure, but just because I don't want you to miss out. If it's something that you think you like and you think, oh, I'm just going to wait a bit and see if there's something else, they will, once you've checked it out, then it's guaranteed. If it's just sat in your basket, it isn't sort of allocated to you until it's been checked all the way through. So, we've had a message in. Who was that from? Oh, hello, Christine. Let's have a look. Oh, I haven't had the iPad before. I feel like we've gone very technical this morning. Christine from Essex. Da, da, da. Oh, loving the presentation this morning. Oh, that's great. Lovely to have you with us. Seaside. I'm actually from Southend, so nice. The seaside-themed show is perfect for me this morning. So this one here is your stars. So you've got, again, that same colour palette as the hearts, but obviously a slightly different shape. This particular one I think would be great for a maybe a gift for a child, perhaps a bag for dancing or for school or a book bag. I think the stars have a sense of fun. Or for curtains or cushions for a children's bedroom, obviously stars with that nighttime feel to it. Oh, producer Paul is getting very technical. He's saying, if you look really closely at the background of that fabric, it's almost like if you were looking at sand through under a microscope, you can really see that texture. It's got a linen weave to it, which is really lovely. So that one, again, by the half metre, £4.95, a Premier fabric. Which one's in the lead at the moment? The Wales, by quite a long way. Oh, I wonder if it will change. Let's just look at the Wales once more then. This is producer Paul's favourite. This is why we're looking at it again. So I'll just open it out. Everybody's favourite. So if you're buying 2 units, you'll get a metre of fabric. If you order 4 units, obviously that would be 2 metres of fabric. They're cut to measure. And these will arrive, because they're cut off the bolt, they'll arrive in a lovely sewing quarter box. So it's like a little gift to you. You like that one? I love having new fabrics, bringing something a bit different that we haven't seen before. So I mentioned those Spectrum Solid bundles that are selling really well, really great value for these. I'll start with, which one would you like to start with? This one. So this first one here, you've got 3 different colourways. I'll open them out so you can see what you're getting. Oh, I thought that was going to open and it didn't. So half a metre of that one. Then you've got half a metre of your lighter blue. You can just, I won't open that right out completely, but you can see the colours there. So you've got your blue sea and your ocean, and then you've got an ivory here, which is a lovely cream. All of these solids. Let's just make, that's it. Just working really well together. Great for masculine projects, but again, if you wanted to add a binding, or perhaps if you were lining a pocket and you wanted to use a solid for that, mix and matching it with a designed fabric, these colours just working really well for that. Actually, if I bring in one of the linens, you can see, so if I bring in the Wales there, you can see that blue all tying in really well, and that ivory as well. You know, if you wanted to, as I said, line a pocket, or perhaps if you were doing binding on something, £7.95 for that. So 3 half metres, so 1.5 metres of fabric in total. PQGC 94. Also, here at Sewing Quarter, we only charge 1 lot of postage and packaging per day. So let's have a look. You'll only be charged 1 lot. So if you add different things throughout the shows as we go through, it's capped at midnight, so you won't be charged multiple times. Even if you're ordering a sewing machine, obviously that's a big, bulky, heavy item. It's still only £2.95. So if you see something that you think you want, like these bundles that are very limited in stock, you can add that to your basket, check it out, and then if you do buy something later, you won't be charged again for postage and packaging. So the next one, this one's really limited now, the stock on this. Oh, if everyone that's got it in their basket checks out, we'd only have 2 left. So, it's gonna go. This is your white here. So you've got that optical white, a really nice bright white. Again, 3 half metres of this. Then you've teamed that there with a lovely bright blue. That's a really royal blue that you've got there. A nice bold colour. And the red, like a postbox red. Nice bright red there. Red and blue, red, white and blue just works, doesn't it? That trio together is just very classic. It's classically nautical with that seaside feel. So if everyone does check out their basket, we're incredibly low on stock for that. So just make sure, if it's one you want, let's fold those up. Now, we've also actually got some thread bundles this morning that are going to match all those colourways with that seaside feel. So we've actually put these together for you in a thread bundle. So £3.85 for those 3 different colours. So you are saving money because these have been bundled and put together, as opposed to if you were buying these colours separately. So a Gutermann thread, a German brand, they've been going for over 150 years. So you've got a really, a trustworthy brand, something that isn't going to snap, that's going to be nice and easy to work with. They have a real consistency in terms of the thickness of the thread there. So as it's going through your machine, you're not getting, different thin and thick parts to the thread. So this first one here is a natural OT sort of colour. Perfect, absolutely perfect for these linens. If I bring one of those in, you can see that colour collection. Just how that thread works there with that. So the hard work's been taken out of it for you in terms of matching those colours. Also your red there, again, look at that, perfectly with the stars. If I show you with the stripes as well, this is exactly the colour palette of the stripes, because you also got a blue in that set. So a red, a blue, and an OT colour. And if we match those with the stripes, you can see there how that works. Saving money on that one there, £3.85 for those 3 threads. Almost got a bit of a sheen to them actually, particularly the red. GBGC71. So we've had a message an email from Tina. Thanks for getting in touch. She said, good morning. She said she loves the style of presenting. That's lovely. Thank you so much. It's really lovely to hear from you, and loving the fabrics as well. Good. That's what it's all about. We love hearing from you. Perhaps if you've got project ideas or things that spring to mind. I always think it's so interesting how different fabrics inspire different people to do different things. Someone might look at this fish fabric and for them, they might think of a cushion. Someone else might look at it and see, a toiletry bag or a makeup bag or something for a conservatory. And let us know what springs to mind for you. So talking of fish, we'll start with this fish fabric. Thanks for your message, Tina. So we've got this one here. I think that's upside down. It is. Let's turn it this way. So this here is a bluey grey that you've got there in that background, and the fish too. I think they they must go both ways, the fish. I've just turned it up around the other way, and I think they go both ways. So you've got all your different sort of scales there, and the detail on the fish in stripes and sort of cross-hatching and little triangles too. A really soft cotton from Makawa. Perhaps if you were making a beach bag, or if you've got a beach hut, these fabrics are absolutely perfect and also for bunting, or perhaps if you're having a summer party and you want to, add some bunting and decoration, or even placemats for the garden. This beachy feel has a real summery vibe to it, which is really lovely. Then we've got this one here, which is a mosaic sort of print. It's like a tessellated fabric. You've got those different rectangles of all the different icons from the beach. So you've got a bit of everything here. You've got a whole montage. You've got anchors in different colours. You can see it there in the red, here in the blue. If I come up here in the blue. You've got lovely stars. You've got sailing boats. The width of this is 112 centimetres, but you're still getting a ½ metre of that. You've got fish, you've got beach huts, you've got lovely little seagulls. Also, you could cut some of these out and add them to some of the other fabrics. So particularly this one, I'm going to shimmy that along. I'm just going to skip that red one to show you. If you use this montage fabric with the icons here that I've got next to it, so these little prints here that you can see, say, in the shells and the seagulls, these match up. So you could even cut those out and applique them on. Lovely. You can make a really lovely summery quilt, actually, perfect for a summer baby. So this one here is the montage fabric. The one we've got next to it here, I believe, is called Icon. So I'll just show you that one next while you can see. So the details on the bottom of your screen are for that Icon scatter. So you're scattered with all those iconic beach things. You've got different boat-related bits and pieces, which are really lovely. And it's on a light blue background, this particular one. JPMY84. So the most popular out of this range is actually the beach huts, which is the one just peeping out under here. Let's open this one out so you can see. So this is a metre of fabric here. This would be 2 units. We're selling it by the half metre. I'll just hold it up. You can see. But those lovely lines of beach huts. Bathroom blinds absolutely would look really lovely in that. Just a way of injecting a bit of colour. If I lay it out as well. Oh, that didn't go very flat, did it? Let's do that again. Let's have a straighten out. But you can see all your different colours there. Lovely turquoises, oranges, a nice dark red. And on that white background, I just want to show you how a couple of these work really well together if you're multi-buying. I'm going to bring this fish one in. Oh, stay straight. That's it. So this fish fabric here is the exact same colour blue as the beach huts, some of these beach huts. So you can see how they would work really well together. This is the exact colour match there, because obviously they're from that same collection, that Marina range from Makawa. This beach huts one here is the one on your screen, POMY 31, 545 per half metre. Is that one still in the lead? Is the beach hut still in the lead? It is. It is still in the lead from this collection. But the whales are the most popular this morning. That's because I think it's a premiere. It's the first time we've had them on the show. If you've just tuned in, we've got some gorgeous linen style fabrics that we've never had on before. I'll get back to those in a minute, but there are 4 different options. Really, really great for your summer projects. So we've also got some options for rickrack. We didn't show the red in that last collection. I'll just do that while we're here. So there's also this, it's my fault, I skipped it. So the graphic there is on your screen. It's tossed yachts on a red background. And you've got anchors and lovely little sailing boats there. This one's actually limited stock. So RNMY27. You can add that to your basket online or give us a ring. It's a UK-based call centre, so 0800 112 4433. Oh, how did that happen so quickly? The fish. There's only half a metre left of the fish. If it's in your basket, we apologise. Just if it is there, you might quickly be able to check out half a metre, but that one will probably be coming off the table any minute now. Let me know if it does. So, rickrack. So, we've got 3 different colour options in your rickrack. These are amazingly good value because you're getting 25 metres, so much rickrack. If I open one out, we have got one, I'll show you in a moment. You can see you've got so much there for adding detail to a project. We're going to start with which one did you want to start with? The red. So you can see that there, that lovely bold red. 25 metres, which is a lot of rickrack, great for your stash. If you've got a particular project in mind, you could obviously use that to edge something, to add a bit of detail and embellishment. So it's 1.4 centimetres in terms of the, the height or the width of that rickrack, but 25 metres of it there in your pack, all wrapped around there. So £12.95 for that. Great, to fringe something or to add a bit of extra detail. We've also got it in navy. Really, I think navy is such a smart colour. I just think it adds a real professional finish to things. So you could team that actually with, I won't use the fish, but this one here, with your beach huts. You've got a navy beach hut in that fabric. Oh, we're upside down again. Which just works really well together. It would also go well with the whales. If I show you that. The most popular fabric of the hour. You can see there that navy rickrack. That looks great together. Navy and an OT colour there on your background. If I lift that up. Perfect. Well, the plastic makes that, it looks like it's been wrapped in cling film, doesn't it? We're not trying to preserve it, I promise. Okay. And then the last one is your white. Again, 25 metres of this. So just a classic white, an optical white there, really bright. and clean. Would work really well with one of the more busy fabrics, perhaps the Montage or the Icons. And that works out as 51 pence per metre, so super cheap. £12.95, YMGQ 95. So we've also got a book in this hour if you need any sort of inspiration for these fabrics, particularly these linens that are really great for home projects because you've got that durability and strength to them. They're almost like a canvas where they're a mix, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. So this particular book by Debbie Shaw, the So Useful book, it's got 23 storage solutions. So you can even see there she's actually used, a natural linen fabric because it's giving you that strength to hold things and store things. So lots of different storage solutions in this book. I'll flick through so you can see. Debbie Shaw is a bit of a she's an icon herself in the sewing world. She's got so many different books, and her husband takes all these wonderful photos in the books. So starting there with your useful tools, but I'm going to push straight on to show you the different projects inside. So we've got a storage cube there. These are great. I always think you can have these on the, if I lay it down flat, you can have these on the bottom of the stairs. If you need to take things upstairs and you don't want to keep making that trip, you can just pop everything in there. Then you've got a toy bag there, a lovely drawstring bag. You could also use that as a storage caddy, perhaps for jewellery if you wanted to scale that down into a smaller size. A straightener's pouch. This is great, and you can also add, some heat-resistant fabric in there. So if you've got something that you need to lay out, maybe a curling iron or some tongs or a hairbrush, a heated hairbrush, this would be great for that. And you also got a pocket on there for any hair accessories or perhaps rollers, something like that. Here it is, you can see, so this is exactly like these linen fabrics we've got in the show. This would be our sort of equivalent of that. You've got the hearts fabric that you can see there in that exact same linen texture. This fabric, the linen, is £4.95 per half metre. It's a nice storage caddy with all your different compartments. Great if you've got a sewing room and you've got threads and bobbins and things to keep in place and your scissors and ribbons. You can see that there in lots of detail talking you through that, and also some lovely pocket detail on the inside of that if you need to stand up your scissors or your pens, or perhaps if you've got knitting needles. Then you've got a small case there too, so like a pencil case, or if you again for knitting needles. Again, using those linen fabrics. Great to have some inspiration. And a garment cover. Lots of these projects using those fabrics, those canvasy sort of texture fabrics where you've got the strength to them. Because if you're creating something that needs to hold anything of weight, then obviously you need that. You've got the garment cover there. Loads of different ideas to inspire you. An iron caddy. Oh, I love the shape of that. Oh, that's really quirky. I like that. And there's a jewellery pouch, which we've made previously on the show, with all little pockets inside. A garden tote. These linen prints would be great for the garden, actually, if you wanted to look at those there with all your different pockets. Just going to see. Then you've also got, as we go through, a nursery bag there, so you could hang that on the back of the door, or you could hang that or in the car. Sometimes on the back of a car seat you need something to hang. Oh, that's great in the bathroom too. Oh, look at this is a striped one. Exactly like this would work really well with this nautical linen stripe. So this is a great idea. If you've got hooks on the back of a bathroom door, or hooks in the bathroom generally, you could create lovely, that one there sort of holding your loo rolls or for anything like that in the bathroom. If you want to just keep things nice and neat and tidy, or perhaps if you've got a downstairs toilet and you want to store things, keep them away nice and neat and tidy. So £9.95, that's your book from Debbie Shaw, ALSP 89. the rickrac's actually been incredibly popular. It's great value because you're getting so much. I'm going to open one. Let's open the red. I don't think it's open already. Let's open it up. I'm not going to unravel this whole thing because we'll be here all afternoon tidying it up, but I'll just open some so you can see. Where's the end? So 51p per metre, really good value. I'm just going to loop that off there so you can see. So you can just see there you've got that lovely curve, that wibbly wobbly line. But if you hold it against a solid, let's use this navy. It's just adding that, that detail. I really like that, which looks lovely. And also there's a line going through it. You've got a grain going through that rickrack. So it's not just completely plain, it's just adding that bit of texture and detail, a professional finish to things, a great way to edge things, perhaps a cushion. The most popular colour is actually the navy. So I'll show you that one here. Again, you can team that up, again, with your reds or your whites. This is the navy here, working well with this solid navy. But I personally would team that with a pattern fabric like your nautical stripe. So that fish one that we mentioned earlier, that one has sold out. I'll remove him from the table. It's all changed. Which is the most popular now? The hearts. Let's have a look at the hearts then. So I'm going to move these over. We've got so many beachy fabrics this morning. We're running out of room. So let's turn it over. This is your hearts. So a premiere of these fabrics on the show. We've never had them on before. You've got that linen weave in the background there. We said it's almost like sand under a microscope. When you see it really closely, you've got that lovely texture to it. And you've got your hearts there as well. This would be great for perhaps a doorstop or for oven gloves or something that you're going to, or a tea cosy. So we've had lots of people joining us this morning. Who have we got on here on the iPad who's bought the hearts fabric? So we've got Janice, morning Janice, and we've got Val and Susan and Janet and, oh, Carol, lots of people loving the hearts fabric this morning. Lovely to have you with us, multi-buying these fabrics as well. Send us a message, let me know what you're making with it or what you've got in mind. That's your hearts one. Next up, we've got I'll show you the stars, which is very similar, but obviously just a different shape. Your same colours, also very popular. I mean, these would work well together, or perhaps if you were creating, you know, the hanging bag I just showed you in the book, you could have mix and match, so you could have some in the stars, some in the hearts. Again, there you've got that lovely texture on the background and the burgundy, grey, cream and pink stars. £4.95, I think that's really good value as well per half metre. Really fantastic value. CEFG 37. Let's have a look. So we've got your stars and hearts there. And then the next one, which one would we like to do next? The whales. So, as we were saying earlier, perfect for the bathroom, perfect for the beach, perfect for the garden. You've got that lovely, really bold navy whale there printed onto the fabric. Let's see who's bought this one this morning. So we've got Sandra, we've got Anne from Norfolk. Morning, Anne. We've got George and Heather and Jennifer. Lots of people buying, and also a couple of people who have bought hearts and whales, or they're teaming them up together. So, yeah, please do message in. Let me know what you're making. And the last one is your stripes. This is producer Paul's favourite one. So you've got your stripes there in your red, navy and white. Works well, you can see there with the whales. If I move these over, you can see all of these, just how they work together. Let's just tighten them up a bit so you can see. Now, because they are Premier fabrics, if they are in your basket, I don't want you to be disappointed, just do check them out. So you can see there you've got your hearts, your stars, your whales, and your stripes. That new collection this morning. Bringing that to you on today's show. All being sold by the half metre, all of them are £4.95, so great value. Perfect for some summery projects. So let's have a look at our bundles again. I'm going to leave those there. Let's start with the darker bundle. So you're getting 3 solids in this bundle. So we'll start here with the ivory. So you've got 1.5 meters in total of these fabrics. So you've got that one there, which is your 0.5 meter of ivory. Then you've got ocean blue, $7.95 for 1.5 meters. Great value. We've got some really great value fabrics in this show this morning. PQGC 94. Those two there working really nicely together. And then if you bring in the navy, that's your 3rd colour. That lovely rich. So you save over 15% when you buy those in a bundle than if you were just sort of ordering those separately on the website. So if you wanted to use them for binding, or perhaps we had that reversible jacket in the first show this morning. And if you bought the Joel Dewberry and you were going to use that on one side and you wanted to have something plain, this would be, one of these solids would be lovely on the inside of that. Or for the binding, actually the navy would look really lovely on the binding of that Joel Dewberry. That was that lovely turquoise colour palette. Producer Paul's saying, is it? It's the most affordable bundle he's ever seen. Under £8, you're getting 3 fabrics, 1.5 meters in total. So really great value. So that's your Spectrum C bundle there, $7.95. Now our other bundle, there's only 2 of these left, 2 in stock of this one. So you've got your optical white. I'll just go through it quickly in case it's in your basket. You've got your white there. And then we team that with a lovely, bright, vivid blue. Really soft, 100% cotton. And then you've also got this lovely post-boxed red. Post-boxed red. Let's try that again. So your red, white and blue there. Your Union Jack colours. And that's $8.95 for that one. MWGC 52. And that rickrack as well, the red and the white would both go really well with this. You can see those colours there, just working really well together. The rickrack just coming up on your screens. So the red one, first of all, which we've already got open, I'll show you it open. Actually, I'll show you it on these fabrics, so you can just see if we pop that on the white or on the blue. Just tying them all in together. 25 metres for $12.95 of that. 51p per metre. Really good value. Now the most popular one is the navy, which would also work really well with this. We haven't got one open of that, but if I just hold it there, you can see the navy. Navy working with the red or with the white. Personally, I think this navy rickrack is great for those linen fabrics that we've premiered on the show this morning. You can see there with the nautical stripe. And the other rickrack colour is white. So again, this is, we can open this one. I'll show you the... They're telling me if I open it, I have to pay for it. I better not, I won't, let's open this one. We've got 2 whites there. So the white one here, I love that with the blue. 25 metres. I'm not going to open the whole thing, we'll be here winding that back around the thing all day, but it would be perfect for you to add to your stash. The white there working really well with the red and the blue. Great for bunting. You could edge your bunting, or you could even you could make the, the points of the bunting, and you could use that as instead of a ribbon, or instead of a binding. Lovely. So that's your rickrack. 3 different options there. The most popular fabric in the lead is the hearts this morning. We thought the whales were going to be the one that went mad, but it's the hearts. So let's get the hearts back. Let's start with this one. Lots of people involved getting this one this morning. I'm going to open it right out so you can see. Lots of multi-buys, $4.95 per half metre. I'm going to hold that right up so you can see. All your different colour hearts there. Great for lovely, you know, if you're making a gift for someone, show them that you love them with your lovely hearts fabric this morning. Now the whales, I'll show you that one too. Here it is. Okay. Again, £4.95 per half metre. Premiere today of this one. Perfect for your bathrooms, for toiletry bags, makeup bags, maybe a bag for the beach. That would be really lovely for that. This would be great for a little gift for a little boy as well. So that's your linen blue whale, OJFG58 for that one. And then I'm just going to pop over to the other range. So I'll show you those ones. Oh, let's just match those up so they're the same. And then, so it's the beach huts in the lead in this particular range. So all different colours you've got here, you can see in your fabric. If I show you the selvage, you can see there. You've got your navy, you've got your teal blue, you've got your red, you've got a turquoisey blue, an aqua, an orange, and a steely grey. That's the from the Marina range, POMY 31. And I'm just going to show you how these work well together. So this particular one, if we bring in the red, that lovely seaside feel to it. So you've got your sailing boats and your anchors there. You can see that beach hut working well with that because you've got the same colour. Let's move those out of the way. Perhaps you've got a holiday booked and you're heading off somewhere and you want to you make something new to take with you. This is the icons one. I really, really like this one actually. You've got all different lovely motifs from the seaside. So you've got shells. You've got a couple of different shaped shells actually. A lighthouse. You've got. I wonder if this is. I think this is a message in a bottle. Can we see that one here? If I move it over, you can see here like a message in a bottle. You've got all different, you know, anchors and buoys and really gorgeous little the detail there. And again, you can see with the sailing boats and anchors, those tying in if you wanted to mix and match. Actually, those two really lovely together to mix and match. Lovely. And then we've also got this one, which is a montage. So again, you've got those all of those motifs coming through. This is a tessellated, like a mosaic there with those, with your stars, your seagulls, your anchors. Lovely orange shells there as well. You can see your beach huts and a compass there. Really lovely, iconic shapes. Nice, it's a nice playful fabric, this one. And just you can see that collection there working really well together if I hold it up. So these ones are all £5.45 per half metre. They're from Makawa, they're from the Marina range. The fish sold out very quickly, they've already gone. But you can just see how those colours are all working. Really playful, really fun. Gorgeous. Loving our beside the seaside hour this morning. So let's lay those there. Have we got any of the Spectrum solids left? Or have they gone? Oh, they're trying to add some more stock in these solids. So there are two different colour options. Just quickly, you've got your red, white and blue. So lovely, bright, bold red, a royal blue and a white. That's the nautical collection. £8.95. And then this one, amazing value in the other colourway, which is your ivory, your navy and your a sky blue there, which is £7.95 for this one. They are trying to add some additional stock to that. Lovely. £7.95 for that one, you can see there. So PQGC94, the most affordable bundle, producer Paul saying that he's seen on the show ever. So really perfect if you're adding detail to something or binding. Now we've also got some ribbon, which I haven't touched on. Guess the colours. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to guess which colours. We've got 3 colour options, red, white and blue. I'll start with this red. So it's a satin finish ribbon that you've got there. A lovely sheen to it. 20 metres for £8.45 of that ribbon. So if you've bought that hearts fabric this morning, you've got that lovely, you could add some detail in your ribbon. So 42p per metre, that's what that works out as. That's your red. Then we've also got a lovely navy blue here, which is really smart. Got that nice sheen to your, it's a double-faced polyester satin ribbon. It's 15 metres, the width of that ribbon, and you get 20 metres in length. Again, £8.45 from Beresford's UMGQ03. And then we've also got your classic white, a lovely white ribbon. Again, 20 metres, 15 metres in width, £8.45. Now, the red, white and blue bundle, it has sold out. However, they are just trying. Oh, they are adding stock. So if you give us a call, 0800 112 4433. If it is in your basket, you won't be able to check it out online. But if you give us a ring, you will be able to buy it because we've managed to just get a little bit more in stock. So it might say sold out online. Do not fear. You can still get it. Just give the call centre a ring. They'll be able to help you. So our Premier fabrics, I'll come back to these. The most popular is still the hearts. It is still the hearts in this hour. So these are 80% cotton, 20% polyester. You've got that lovely linen weave to that and texture. You can see it's almost like sand, a sandy oaty colour. Lots of people multi-buying this morning. Most people buying a metre, so you must have a project in mind. Come on, share, tell me what it is. So the hearts is in the lead. Next up was the stripes. Next in the lead is the stripes. So because this is the first time that we've seen this on air, I would check out your basket, just make sure that you've gone all the way through to the end, just to avoid any disappointment. So this is your nautical stripe, MTFG86. If I bring those ribbons in there, you can see all of those colours this morning in that theme. £4.95 per half metre of that one. Next up we had the Wales. Again, a Premier. They look smiley, they look happy, these whales. They're happy to be here this morning. You can see those there. Again, just £4.95 per half metre on that lovely OT background. OJFG58 is your code for that one. That works really well with the striped fabric, if you see those two together. My favourite is actually the hearts. I'm in agreement with the general consensus of what's most popular this morning. And the stars. So if perhaps you could mix and match the stars and hearts, or perhaps you just prefer the shape of a star. So you've got that there. It's exact same colours, but just with the slightly different shape. 2 different sizes. You've got your sort of smaller and slightly larger star there. Selling this, all of our fabrics are cut to measure in half metre increments. So again, that one, £4.95 per half metre. If you want a metre, that will be 2 units. That one's just coming up on your screen any second now. So the computer isn't playing. Here it is, BFFG79, and that's £4.95 for your stars. So we've had that Marina collection, and the most popular one at the moment in that is the beach huts. So I'll just show you that one again. Perfect for if you've got a beach hut. Lucky you. Get out on the beach in the sand. You can have some lovely bunting. You could make even canvases. You know, we've previously, if you could stretch it over an embroidery hoop and like a photo frame, you could have these hanging up in your beach hut. You could make a cushion for your deck chairs. POMY 31 for your beach huts print there. The next most popular is the fish have gone. What was the next one? The montage. So that's this one here, which is like a mosaic of all your lovely beach-related items. Maybe you're going on holiday somewhere and you're going to make a lovely beach bag or something to keep all... You know, you always need a little zip-up bag, don't you, on the beach as well, to keep for your suntan lotion and if you've got a room key or, you know, your wallet or things like that. You want to keep them all in one place. TVMY 84, and that's $5.45 per half metre. Lovely. So thank you for joining us in this hour. You've seen read lots of lovely fabrics, some premieres with those gorgeous linens. Lovely to have that texture, slightly different thickness. The Hearts is still in the lead. It's still the most popular. Just check out your baskets. Also, those solid bundles, if it's sold out online, give the call centre a ring because we've managed to add some additional stock. Always add that. Jennifer Taylor is up next. We're looking at some gorgeous tunics that will be perfect for the beach. We've got the pattern for that and some fabrics as well, which were perfect for summer. So we will see you in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
So today we're going to be learning the prick stitch. Now the prick stitch is very similar to a back stitch, and they're basically very tiny stitches which are visible on the front of the fabric and very long stitches on the back. So let's get started. So I'm going to be using an embroidery thread here, so obviously you can see what I'm doing, and I have got a large knot in the bottom, but at home obviously you wouldn't do that. So first of all you need to start with the needle at the wrong side of the fabric coming through to the front. And like I said, it's very similar to the back stitch where you're going to go backwards rather than forwards, and you want to make this stitch as tiny as possible, so taking a couple of strands from the fabric itself. And then the length of your prick stitch could be entirely up to you, so I'm going to make it quite a large one so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going through the fabric and then I'm going to come back again, taking a couple of strands from the fabric to come down. You want to keep these as even as possible as you're going across the line. So there we have our prick stitch.
Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air. The Sewing Quarter is a new inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects. Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.
Welcome back. I hope you've got a cup of tea in your hand, ready for this next hour. I'm back with Jennifer Taylor, and we are looking at holiday wardrobe. So we've got some great, we've got a pattern from McCall's that's got 4 different options in that are perfect for your summer wardrobe, some capsule items, or also, to take on holiday with you. So you can see this one here. This is like a lovely tunic top. It's with an A-line, so really flattering fit. We're focusing on this, creating this lovely neck today, this neckline. So the pattern itself is coming in 2 different size options. So there are 4 designs within the pattern, different sleeve variations, whether you wanted to have a longer sleeve. I'm going to grab one so you can see. So you've got the, this one here is the extra small, small and medium. So this is for sizes 4 to 14. So you can see there you've got the lovely dress, then you've got a dress there with longer sleeves, a maxi dress, a tunic top. Really flattering for the summer. So this is £8.95. Now we've also got this available in another size option. So sizes 16 to 26. So if you're after the fabric for this, and we've got all different fabric options, the most fabric that we think you could use would be 5 meters. So if you were making the biggest dress, so perhaps the maxi dress with long sleeves in the biggest size, you'd need 5 meters of fabric. But obviously if you're making something like the smaller top, it would be a bit less. If there's a specific one you want to find out about, drop us a message. We can check how much fabric you'd need for that one. So let's look at the fabric that we've got. You can see one here on the mannequin next to me. So this is from Amy Butler. This is the Tropicana fabric. So we're selling this by the ½ meter. A lovely floral print there, really summery, with your cream background, but those gorgeous aqua tones, lilacs. Really gorgeous. So that's the first one there. This is the Tropicana. Again, by the ½ meter. This is from the Bright Heart range. This was actually inspired by a trip she took to Mexico, really inspired by nature and sort of natural beauty. You can see that in those lovely flowers. Then the next one, nearly lost the pattern. This is my favourite. That's my favourite. Can I show that one now? I can show it now. This is my favourite one. So this is called Oh Dear, and there are lots of little deers in the fabric. I'm going to open it out so you can see. Really, really gorgeous. It's in a corally colour, really lovely for the summer. We're actually making the top out of this morning, so you'll be able to see that in action. So this is Oh Dear from the Bright Heart range in a lovely coral. That's my favourite. I like that one a lot. Then the next one, you've got another floral. So again, this is from Amy Butler. This is our last Amy Butler in this hour. So this one is Garden Fate. So you can see there you've got gorgeous flower prints with that bright purple there. Your greens and turquoises, really vibrant. This one's from a different range. It's from the Violet range. But again, £6.95 per ½ meter for that Amy Butler one there. Now, our last fabric is not from Amy Butler. This is from Art Gallery. This is a denim print. So rather than having to work with a really heavy denim, which perhaps you wouldn't want to wear in the summer anyway, for this particular tunic and these lovely summery tops, we've chosen this from Art Gallery because it's 100% cotton, so you can still wear it, and it's not going to be too hot, not too thick to work with, but you've got the look of denim. Always popular when this one is on the show. This is the Painterly Wash denim print fabric. So some artistic sort of strokes there, almost like a painting on the fabric. A bit mottled with those lovely greens and blues. We have got some solids, but we'll look at those after. Let's get cracking with Jenny. So I'm going to take a pattern with me. Let's take those. And we'll head over. We're back. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, sorry, clear my throat.
No, that's all right. Quick off. It's all good, we're good. Yay, we're working with my favourite.
Yay, just for you. You can see the, actually I can open these out for you so you can actually see the print. It's just lovely. Let me just remove that tailor's tack.
I love coral. I always think
it's such a lovely
isn't it?
colour, isn't it? My living room's actually a coral colour.
Is it? I usually
It's so
nails
warm.
my go-to toenail colours. It's coral. I like
but
coral.
it is. It's such a lovely warm colour, isn't it? It's just gorgeous. But I've gone with the Oh Dear fabric.
Yes.
But it's not Oh Dear.
not
It's
that
Oh
sort of
Lovely.
dears.
It's Oh Lovely. And you're right. Look, there's the little deers either side. They're
You can just see them.
super cute. I love them.
Really lovely.
Super love them. Okay, so
Pattern. We're working with the pattern.
We are working with this pattern. You get a lot of pattern for this pattern, 4 different options. And what I like about it is that you can actually intersplice even more.
Yeah.
So if, for instance, you really like the tunic, but you would prefer a sleeve, pop in a sleeve. You don't have to not have it with, exactly, it's all interchangeable, different lengths on that. So you've got your sort of top tunic, you've got your sort of mid-knee length dress.
And there's a long one as well, like a maxi.
Full on maxi. And then you've also got that tapered detail on the sleeves and the edge of the hemline as well as the neck. So what I really wanted to do, I thought that was the main design feature of that garment, so I thought I'd walk you through that process. So it's this vented...
It's the neck that's definitely, it's definitely a feature of the top, isn't it? It's
Especially if you're going to mix it in with the bolds that we've got today, because it really just gives you that pow factor. And obviously you can, again, going back to our first show this morning, that don't stop there, go embellish.
Yeah, why not? You could add some embroidery.
Absolutely, or ribbon, or bead, anything, everything and everything. Just whack it on there.
Just jazz it up.
Yeah.
I'll just show you those different. I was just holding that so you could see the different options that are in there. So you've got that lovely knee-length dress.
It's lovely, isn't it?
So we've got that in 2 different size options. And then, as Jenny was just saying, you can, if you wanted to insert these sleeves, perhaps into the knee-length dress or the tunic or that maxi dress there. It's interchangeable. You can add those in.
So with my garment, I did the option A, but without the sleeves, and I went with option D, hemline. So I didn't add the detail on the hemline. I wanted
you've
just
done
to
a pick and mix.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's nothing to stop you from doing that with the pattern. So don't stop at 4.
No,
You've got
it's
multiple
almost
options.
6 or 7 or 8 even. That you could
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
add different things on.
And again, you can always add piping or a bit of
Yes, you could add those beads there to that.
absolutely.
To that neckline, or the ribbon there,
Absolutely.
or a drawstring. You could have if you wanted
Yeah,
to keep
you can
that.
make it like with my tunic top that I'm wearing
Yeah.
today. It's got a drawstring at the top, so it's just like a little bit. It's exactly the same shape actually. So it's a slot neckline, which I think is really, really flattering as well. And it just draws the eye, especially if you have very broad shoulders. It just really brings that in for you. So it's a really, really flattering top. And you can also vary how deep you want the V. You don't have to have it as deep as
it doesn't have to be like a plunge neckline.
No,
it
not
could be
at all.
quite,
I mean, to be fair, it's quite a modest neckline, but that might be a bit too deep for some people. So that I'll show you where you can adjust that V-neck and so how deep that goes for you anyway. So
and also,
you can make it
this would
your
be
own.
perfect as a caftan for the beach.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I've made that garment in a size 12 for our lovely lady
Oh, my
over
lady.
there. But you can
She
see
needs a name.
What should we call her?
I don't know. We need a name.
What should we call
for
her,
them.
Mannequin? What should we call her? But you can see that it's a very flattering. It's not close fitting. It's a really loose, cool garment. So it would be perfect. Exactly what you said. Perfect for those holidays on the beaches.
You don't want anything too clingy or hot.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So that's the Tropicana there. You can see on the top. And just saying that it is that lovely loose fitting, keep you nice and cool and nothing too clingy. Particularly in those cottons as well.
Absolutely, and you can just see from the image there that I've gone with a contrasting binding for the facings on the armholes as well. So you can mix this up as much or as little as you like. But
throw in what you like.
Absolutely, but it is just a really lovely, flattering item to be making anyway, whether it's with a sleeve or without a sleeve.
Whatever you fancy.
Yeah, whatever you fancy.
So we've got the oh dear. Let's.
So I'm going with the oh dear today, and I'm really, really going to be concentrating on this detail in the neckline. Like I say, it is repeated on the sleeves if you want to, or on the hemline as well. So if you want to do it on all of that, you can do. But the principle would remain the same for all of them. So I thought that was the main thing that we needed to go through today. So I've gone ahead and cut out my front piece. We have got darts in here as well, but I'm not adding those yet. I'm going to focus on the neckline first, okay? So it's quite an unusual cut. So you can see if I just pop that back on the fold for you. So this is how I would have cut it out in the material. So you see we've got this big gash, for lack of a better word, big cut-out section here, and I think when you first come to it, you'd be like, should I be cutting that area?
Because you just think it would be
straight up, and you'd cut later. So no, you do go ahead and go and cut that section out, and we do have some points of reference here. So it's really, really important that you get these in, and I've chosen to do that with tailor tack. So don't worry, I'm going to show you a tailor tack in a second. So I've gone ahead and done that already. So when I open out my fabric, which I'm just going to do again for you, you can see that you've got 1 tack, 2 tack, 3 tacks. So there's 3 points of reference. You're going
to get that even.
Yeah,
that bottom
so it's really, really, really important that you get those in. So if you're not confident with tailor tacks, then I would suggest getting one of your fabric erasable pens.
Yeah.
Because then you know it's there. You're not going to lose your threads, okay? So there are alternative options if you prefer not to do it by hand. So get one of those. So I've done that. I've completed that, so I can move that out of the way.
Okay.
So now I'm going to be working on what would be, if we're referring to our lady over there, would be the pink section, the facing of our neckline. So this is this section here, and I've gone with the lovely sort of, what colour would you call that?
Oh, like an OT.
It is like an OT colour, isn't it? It's really, really nice, but it's picking out the oat in the print of our Oh Dear fabric, so it really does complement it nicely. So
they work really well together.
Yeah, actually. They really do, really lovely. So I've got the facing there, it's already pinned, as you can see. I've already cut that out. The one thing that I haven't done though is transferred the markings. So just as it was important to transfer those 3 markings, especially on that garment, there were obviously the side seams and where the dart needs to go and all of that, but we're just concentrating on the neckline today. We need to do the same with this facing, because if we don't, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a tailor tack. So you can see we've got quite a few to get through. You've got 1, 2, 3 here, which is mirroring the bottom part of our top.
Yeah.
So this is where the centre point. That's right.
Just on this point.
That's it. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And then you've also got the other points of reference. Now this is where you are actually going to determine how deep your plunge is, if you like, or the slot in the neckline. So this is the deepest part, and then this is the distance at the top where it meets the neck band. Okay. So if you wanted to, you don't have to go that deeply. You could go further up if you wanted to. Or, alternatively, if you were going to make an adjustment, you could actually just bring that whole section up. So if I just, you could fold it up like that. But if you're going to do this method, you need to do the adjustment on your Oh Dear fabric as well.
Yeah, you can't just do it on your facing.
No, you have to do it on both. So if you are going to physically shorten the whole thing, and not just do the cheap method, which is adjusting your V, you're going to need to move it up, and therefore you're going to need to do the same on your front bodice. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a hole.
Yeah, like the length of the actual top.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I bring that back over and fold it in half.
Which way would you do it?
What do you mean?
Would you shorten, or would you just move the...
Well, for speed, the quickest one would be leave the facing as it is, everything as it is, and it would just be the adjustment in your sew or stitch line. So you can see here it says stitch line. Yeah. It would be this that you would adjust. However, there is a balance to that band. So if you wanted to be super, super sharp, then you would do the whole adjustment. You do the short adjustment. So where we've got this V cut here, what you would actually essentially be doing is moving that whole section up. So the V cut would be somewhere there. So if I go grab the pattern, I'll show you what I mean. So I think this is one thing that a lot of people might go, oh, it's a bit too deep for me. I don't quite like that.
Might put you off.
Might put you off. So, just me to pick the wrong pattern out.
So the pattern is $8.95, and we were saying you've got there are 2 different size options. So at the bottom of your screen is the sizes 4 to 14, which is the extra small to medium, and then you've got a different size option, which will pop up in a second. But again, $8.95.
If I just roll that main pattern out just for a moment so you can see. Okay, so this is what the pattern looks like on the front bodice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that section there where my 2 points of reference are, where I've already put my tailor's tack in, and you can see you've got that cut section there, and there it says that it's on the fold. So that's all correct. So if you wanted, so what I would do to make sure that you're doing it right in the first place, I would actually put this tissue paper up against your body.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to see
Where does this fit on me?
Where does it fit on me, or where do I want it to start or stop? Okay, so that's the first thing I would do. Then I would play around with how high or how low I want that V section to be. Okay, so once you've determined that, then you know that how much you can need to adjust it by. So all you would essentially be doing, so ignore the darts, we're not really moving any of that section at all. If you wanted to, you could trace that section.
Yeah.
And then move it. Alternatively, because it's on the straight, once you've cut your fabric out, don't cut that section. What you could essentially do is just move it up. So you've still got that V, so this part wouldn't have been cut.
No.
Do you see what I mean? So then when you've got that distance, you can then adjust that in the same way on this piece of paper as well.
So then the length of the dress is still going to be the same?
Everything is the same. The only part we're changing is that section there.
Yeah,
That's all
I'm
we're
with you.
changing. The dart isn't going to move up. The shoulder and the neckline isn't going to move up. You've already done that cut. The one thing you haven't done is cut that section out. That's the important part. And you can play around with that section. And once you're happy with that, then you can go ahead and do your facing.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You can make that if you feel that that's too revealing, or you're just not comfortable, you'd rather have something deeper. You can just customise it and play around
and change it. Absolutely.
Fits you.
So the quicker version would be keep it as it is, and it's just the stitch line that we're adjusting. But if you want to go the whole hog, that's how you do the adjustment.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Right then, so let's get on with these tailor's tack then. So the first thing you're going to need to do is grab a needle and thread. So I'm just going to go with any colour. It doesn't matter because it's a temporary thread. And it's just a way of making sure that you're doing these on symmetrical sides, okay? So to do your tailor's tack, I mean, I've highlighted the areas in blue for you so you can see what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go in through the fabric. So you're taking your needle through, so there's the other side. And you want to almost pinch the fabric. So you have gone through both layers. It's important that you do that. And you're going to pull your needle. Now, the real important thing here is that you actually leave a tail, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So once you've done that, you come back round again to create a loop. There we go. You can see the loop there?
Yep.
Okay, so you can see that you've got a tail, a loop, and now I'm going to trim my thread. That's a tailor's tack. So it's really important that you don't pull that loop out of the way. If you haven't got a loop, it's not going to work. So you definitely need two tails and a loop for it to work. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do, do the other ones. So again,
this is just about marking the fabric so you're completely, matching up and it's visible. But the other option is if you do want to go for, a fabric erasable pen.
Yeah. So if you're going to go with the fabric erasable pen option, what I would suggest doing is getting a pin.
Yeah.
Okay. Popping your pin through the paper and the fabric. And then peel, because the pin's in, peel the fabric back so you've got an area to work with. If you take your pen, you know where the point of reference is because your pin's in
there.
Okay, so you're basically marking where the pin is, and then you can flip to the other side and do the same
where
again.
It comes out on the other side.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that again with these two pieces. So I've marked those, so I can take that part off.
I'm going for a mixture.
Well, I think it's always best to show both options.
Yeah, definitely.
People do have preferences. So there's my point of reference. There's one mark. There's two marks. Again, my pins are still here, so I know they're in place. And then this one here, there's three options. You've got extra small, small, and medium. Now I'm doing the medium, so make sure you're putting your pin in the right section.
Size.
Okay, so there's the small, extra small, small, and medium. So it's these two sections that I'm doing. So I'm going to put one pin there. I'm going to pop another pin there, okay? And the reason why is because these are my last pins and I need to be able to get to it. Okay, so I'm just going to peel those back to reveal my dots. 1, 2, and again just peeling back, so watch your fingers. 1, 2.
So there are 2 different size options, as we were just saying, with that extra small, small, medium. And there are 2 different patterns. So one of them is for sizes 4 to 14, and then there's also another option if you wanted a larger one for 14 to 26. So they're the same price. You would just, and obviously your pattern would be marked up accordingly.
Absolutely. So the one thing I would suggest you do is just go onto the website and check your sizes. So we talk about this quite often when we do dressmaking shows. Take your measurements. So you want bust, hip, and waist, and then go and see what size that is. Because even though you might be a size 14 on the high street, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be a size 14 on a pattern. It's not the same thing. So please check your vitals.
Yes,
check your vitals, and then make sure you get the right pattern.
As well, we did check earlier, and for the longest, so the biggest dress, the maxi dress, so the biggest garment, if you like, out of all of the options, and in the biggest size, you would need 5 meters of fabric. So the most fabric you would need is 5 meters. But obviously, for some of those, say that shorter tunic top with no sleeves, that's obviously going to be a lot less fabric, isn't it?
And again, depending on the print and which fabric option you go for, then you might need to add a little bit in, especially if you're going to do your pattern matching.
Yeah.
And then also if you're going to do your alternate bands, for instance, around the neckline or facings, then you won't need as much fabric because you're going to be getting your bows.
So yeah,
absolutely. So again, all of the fabric requirements are also on the pattern on the back, so you can check that out. Okay, so before we move on to the next step, that we need to do our marking. So the last thing we need to do, because I did 2 tailor's tacks, I showed you that version. We're not quite finished yet. So when I pull my 2 sections away from each other, you can see they're still attached.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to snip them. So you just take your scissors, snip and snip. So now you can see I've got 2 points of referencing in thread. So either whether it's a pen or whether it's with thread, it's doing the same thing. So it's down to personal preference. Okay. So now we've got those done. I'm going to need let's do...
What are you thinking?
Well, let's do the facing first, like ironing, get it out of the way. In fact, we'll do this first, then we'll do that. Okay. That's what we'll do. I'm trying to work a way around it. Take a way around it. So I'm going to use the non-interfaced section first, okay, and I'm going to take my front of the garment. Okay, so this is where we're attaching that plaquette in place. This is where it gets a bit like, oh, it's a bit scary. Okay, so we've got our 2 sections here, 1 and 2. So the first thing we need to do, because we're going to be working in this area, we need to reinforce it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to go in and create a stay stitch. Now, basically, a stay stitch is a normal stitch. Nothing changes. You don't have to lengthen or shorten the thread. And what it is, it's a permanent stitch. It's going to keep the fabric in place. And the reason why we need to do that is because we're going to be cutting into these corners, and if we don't reinforce it with that stay stitch, it's just going to make a hole. Okay, so I'm just going to be sewing with the 1.5 seam allowances down towards that first point of reference, down towards the second, up towards the third, and up a section. So it's about 1 inch away from those 2 points of reference there. So even if you went all the way up, it doesn't matter. The main thing, it's these corners here that we're capturing. Okay, so that's the first thing that I need to do. And you only need to do it on this and not that. Okay.
Okay. We'll have a look at the fabrics in a second. We'll just start you off so we can see what you're doing.
Thought me bobbing.
So this one here is the Oh Dear fabric. This is from Amy Butler. So this is in coral. CJRW49. This one's my favourite. I'll go over and show you the others in a second. But this is, you can see that lovely coral. I want to show you let's show you a deer.
They're so
there
cute.
They are. Aren't they lovely? That's from the Bright Hearts range. Doesn't look very flat, does it? But let's just get you started on here first.
Okay, so I'm using a 1.5 seam allowance, which is the seam allowance that's used throughout the pattern. Normally when you do things like this, you would go within the seam allowance, but where we're cutting to, it really just needs to go up to the point of where the seams would be. This is why we're using the 1.5.
Right.
So don't worry about going backwards or forwards, locking your stitch in place, but the main thing is that when you sew towards your point of reference, in this case it's my tailor's tack, that you do get that right into that tailor tack.
The accuracy.
And then you're going to spin you around, and we're going to sew towards our second tailor tack, which is that one there. Okay, so I'm just going to work towards that, and then I'm going to pop it down. So the reason why normally I like to finish with the needle in the fabric down as a finish, whereas because I want that accuracy, I'm choosing to leave my needle up so then I can just check has it done it or not. Because the last thing I want to do is have a stitch because then I have to unpick it, so I don't want to do that. So it needs to be one continuous stitch, otherwise the stay stitch isn't doing its job.
So we're just following that shape of the neckline there that we've already cut into the fabric.
That's one. So I need about 2 stitches, but rather than do it by the machine and over egg it, I've done it by hand. And I'm on the last stitch now. So that's perfect. That'll do.
I'm just going to quickly have a look at the fabric.
Yeah,
and then
that's
we'll
fine.
come back.
I'll wait for you, no worries.
Let's have a look. So we've got some solids as well. I'll come behind the table actually so I can show you. So we've got some solids from Makower that you can see here. We've used the fuchsia on the neckline there, which works really well at just picking out that colour in the flower. And it's also been used just to create a lovely finish on that facing there. You can see it peeping out on the sleeves. All of our solids are 325 per half metre. So there are 3 different colour options. I'll show you that fuchsia one first. You can see that there. A nice bright, vibrant pink. 325. Working really well with that. You can just see that they're working with the Amy Butler. It's 100% cotton. So if you were going to make this, did we say a metre, do you think, of a solid? Do we reckon? We'll check that. Then we've also got another colour, which is this gorgeous turquoisey spearmint, this one, which is really lovely. 100% cotton, again from Makower. Again, 325 per half metre. If you're using that to create the neckline and the sleeves, we're going for, we would say probably a metre, just to cover.
It's about 1.5.
1.5.
On the bottom, especially if you're going to be doing the face things as well as the hemline as well.
Okay.
So if it's just the neckline, yeah, 1 metre would be more than enough. You have leftovers. But if you're going to do the whole hog, then you definitely
1.5 metres.
At least a 1.5 metres.
Okay, so a metre if you're just doing the neckline. If you're going for the whole hog with your, your facing and doing all your sleeves there, 1.5 metres of your solid teamed with the patterned fabric. Then the last one is what we're working with at the moment, which is latte. So it's that lovely creamy colour. We're using that with the Oh Dear. It works really beautifully with the corny sort of colour in with that coral. Again, 325 per half metre, LIMY 49 for latte there. So 1.5 metres if you wanted that one to team with a pattern. And now our gorgeous patterned fabrics. The most popular one is the Garden Fate. Garden Fate. So we'll start with this one. I'm going to open it up so you can see. Really bright, vivid colours in this one. Really vibrant in with your flowers. You've got that gorgeous tealy background with the turquoise detailing on it. And then you've got your flowers. The splashes of magenta there are really lovely. You can, your accessories, or as we were saying before, even your nail colour or jewellery or shoes. That would be a really great way to pick out. You could pick out that nice bright magenta pink in that. So that's the Garden Fate by Amy Butler, VERW82. The next one that's a favourite is, my favourite, Oh Dear. This is the one we're working with. I want this one to be in the lead. I like this one a lot. So this is in your coral. If we open it right out, you can see that gorgeous print, almost like a sort of a sunshine there, and you can see the detail in the design, that intricate pattern. And let's find a deer if I turn it round. You can see the deer there. They look like happy deer, don't they? So that's again from the Bright Hearts range, inspired by Amy Butler's trip to Mexico and nature in the world, CJRW49. And that one's $6.95 per half metre. Then we also had Tropicana, which you can see modelled on our lovely model, which we're yet to name our mannequin. We're going to think of a name. It needs to begin with an M, maybe a Mandy. So you can see that there. You can see the print. teamed with that fuchsia solid. So you've got that lovely lilac flower, a crushed raspberry colour there, with that ivory background. This would also work well with the latte colour, actually, if I bring that one in. If you wanted to go for something a little bit more neutral, you could see if that, if your collar was... It changes it a lot. It just softens it. If perhaps you don't want such a bright colour close to your face, sometimes, or with different hair colours, sometimes it's nicer to go for more of a neutral. Then your last fabric is the denim print from Art Gallery. So this has got a really artistic feel to it here with these flowers. I'm just going to turn it over. So you've got lovely turquoisey flowers, a slightly darker green, lovely blues in a sky blue and also a lighter baby blue. And this is 100% cotton, so you're getting that denim look, but without having the hassle of working with a really heavy fabric. And also, for the summer, this is going to be much more breathable, much more comfortable. So that's the Painterly wash, really popular whenever this one's on the show. XDHN15 is your number for that one. Oh, we are working with a pattern, so the McCall's pattern in 2 different size options. We've got 16 to 26 and we've got 4 to 14. And so the one on your screens there is the 16 to 26, DFBR 38. And there are 4 different designs in that pack, different sleeve variations you can do with the tunic, with the different length dresses. For the biggest size and the biggest garment, we said 5 meters of fabric for that one, and that's £8.95. And then you've also got the smaller option is 4 to 14, again with all those different 4 designs in there. So where did we get to?
Okay, so I went ahead and did my stay stitching around the corner. So the only thing that I've done is clipped. So if I just move that away, I've clipped into my corners. Okay, so this is the scary part. So this is, you probably might see it with the white thread, but there's the stay stitching is just there, and I've literally clipped right up to those stitches.
Right up to it here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's really important that you don't cut those stitches. You cut to them, but not on them. Okay, otherwise, if you do cut them, then you've made the hole.
Yeah.
But the reason why that stay stitch is when you do pivot, which we're going to need to do in a moment, the stitching keeps that fabric in place. Okay, so that's why we've done that, because we need to open that area out. So this is where we need to take our unfaced, so it hasn't got any interfacing on there at all. It's just your fabric. This is ready for the next step. So it's right size together. At the moment, there isn't really any right size, but I know that the tacks are this way, so I'm using this as my wrong side. Therefore, this is the right side.
Got
okay.
you.
So I'm going to be placing that on top of each other. So it's really important now that we get our tacks in place. So you've got my green tack there, and you've got that section there where I've just cut. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a pin in there for now. Now, I found, rather than trying to pin the whole thing in place and sew, is to do this section at a time, okay? And you need to do that at the machine, so you might have to follow me, okay?
That's all right.
But it's a lot easier than trying to then pin that in there, and then pin that in there, and then pin. It gets complicated. So it's just easier and more steady, I think, with the needle in the fabric, holding it tight as you're pivoting it around. It's just a lot easier. So the only thing I've pinned is this section to this section, making sure that my green notch, in this case it's my tailor's tack, is in that corner there where I've notched.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so we're going to go to the sewing machine.
Would you say this is could a beginner do this? Or would you say it's more of an intermediate project?
I think an adventurous beginner.
Yeah.
But I think it would be an intermediate for me, just because that is quite difficult, sewing into those tight corners and getting that point nice and sharp, and also getting the collar matching as well, so that the band is coming through and you haven't got which might also happen. So it's tricky. It's not undoable though. You know, you can do it.
If you like a challenge,
and I love a challenge. You know that. So I would say an adventurous beginner or an intermediate. Okay. So I'm just again going down with my 1.5 seam allowance. I'm sewing towards my green notch. I'm going to take my pin out. I'm going to pop my needle into the fabric. Just move my needle out of the way. Okay, so I'm just going to sew towards that section now. Okay, so I am there.
Yes.
Okay, so that's that done.
Okay.
The needle is in the point, okay, where my notch is with that tailor's tack. So now I'm going to lift that up.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to pivot. Now I've got some movement in my garment because of that cut. Can you see there, that big V there? in that
Yeah, that's
section
why we
underneath the
snip-
foot?
that's why you
we've
cut
snipped
in.
it. We need that to be able to shift out of the way. Okay, so now that's happened, I can then bring my oatmeal facing around. I'm getting my green notch here. I'm meeting it up with my second notch, which is there. And then that should, once I've moved my fabric out of the way, line up. So it's really important here that you might need to have a little look and make sure that we haven't got any folds in that corner. So you get your finger and
You
have a
don't
little
trap anything
feel,
in
you
there,
know, trap
yeah.
it down. So before you start sewing, have I got any kinks? No, I haven't. So we're all good. And now we just need to sew towards that point of reference. Okay, so let's go. So that's again 1.5. Nothing changes.
Those tailor's tacks are great just because they're so clear. You can
Absolutely,
really
see
clearly,
them.
obviously
So
see.
now we're going to come up to a pen, and
Yeah.
it'll be exactly the same process, just that this time it's not with the cotton. Okay, so again, making sure my needle is in the fabric, it's not going anywhere. Lifting that up, okay? So now we do the same again, where we're rotating our facing towards me, but moving the garment away from me, okay? So you can see how this is starting to bulk up now in this
Yeah,
area.
we're bringing
okay? So
them
this
together,
is where we
aren't we?
really do
So-
need to pay attention. So this is what I'm saying about an adventurous sewer. So if I just lift that up, you can see that's quite bulky under that section there. So this is where you need to be careful, which is why the needle's doing all the work for me. I'm flattening that section out, so that's nice and flat now. And now I can move that facing with ease, knowing that I've not got any kinks or folds in the fabric. I'm bringing the two seam allowances together and moving my fabric out of the way. Just doing a quick feel test. There's no fabric there. And then the last point of reference is making sure my point is on that point there, which it is.
I can see why you didn't pin, because it would be so hard to manipulate the fabric, to turn, and to, you wouldn't have any ease to move
Move it around.
No.
Okay, so we're on our last point now. We're on a home run, home run. Okay, so this is the last time we're doing it now. So lifting up, same thing again. This one's nice and easy now. So the one thing we just need to check is, have we got any kinks? No, we haven't. Okay. There we go. Check, check, check.
Always better to double check, triple check.
Double check. Okay, it's coming towards the neckline now, and I'm just going to do a quick wrap. There we go. Oh. Okay. So now.
I
fold
actually
that
quite like it
over.
like that as well as an option. Not
So
cut.
this is where you need to take all your tack sacks. The last thing we want is all there's green bits everywhere. So let's move that out of the way. So you could do these after, but you see how that's splitting there. If I just move that out of the way a second, if it wasn't for that cut, see how deep that's gone. That was originally together. So without that V, it wouldn't work.
No.
You really do need to cut straight up. So that's that bit done. So now the next thing we need to do is go to the
press.
iron. Okay.
So this is the McCall's pattern. It's $8.95. You've got a really lovely maxi dress in there. You've got the tunic top. You've got an option to insert sleeves, which I can show you actually on the pattern itself while Jenny's pressing. You've got really lovely the sleeves, actually a bit floaty. If it gets cooler in the evening, perhaps if you're on holiday or if we're in England, it's just nice to you've got that bit of extra coverage. Or perhaps if you you don't like a sleeveless top. This lovely sort of caftan shape there, a knee-length dress, and the option to mix and match these hemlines and the sleeve variation, so you can create different length dresses, different length tops. So this is the 4 to 14 AJBR 23. Then we've also got 16 to 26. Again, exact same pattern, just a larger size. So that one there, again, like you can see, exactly the same. And this one, again, $8.95, DFBR 38. 5 metres is probably the maximum amount of fabric you'd need for the biggest project in the larger size. So we're pressing.
So we're going to be pressing our raw edges into the facing.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why I'm doing that first is so that I'm creating folds so I know where to clip that excess fabric. So rather than go in hastily with the scissors, I'm folding it in with the iron first so I know where it's bulking up.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've done that, if I swap over, have a little dance, have a little dance. Yeah. Now I can see where I need to clip. So you can see that's a good section there. There, you can see that there's that little section there. I can get rid of that.
Excess. You can go.
Bye-bye. Again, I'm folding that back. Where's the excess? There it is.
It's obvious actually once you've pressed, isn't it?
Yeah, I just find it a lot easier to do it that way. And then again, final piece. There you go. So that's all done, that's all complete. So now it's time to work on the other side, because this is really unflattering. We don't want to be seeing that. So from the front, you can see you've got a nice clean edge over there. That's what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be cutting into this a little bit later, but that's that front section
Lovely
done.
sharp angle there.
Really
the
nice
front.
sharp.
That's really nice.
And it's all because of that pivoting that we've done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that piece finished. So now we need to work with this piece, okay? So there's no difference to that front piece to this piece. The only difference is that it is interface. You can see all my markings. Again, so go ahead with the marking if you want. You can just put it on the interfacing and iron it straight on.
Because you're not going to see it.
Yeah, but I'd already gone ahead and done it onto the fabric, so it's entirely up to you which way you want to do it. Okay, so the one thing we need to do before we even get to our fabric is do some more pressing.
Right.
So this is a tip for you. So let me just grab my little piece of paper.
We like tips.
We like a bit of tips, don't we? Okay, so where we're using a 1.5 seam allowance on our garment, with this it's saying to press a 1 centimetre single hem around that. So it's like, well, how do you do that by eye? So what I do is get a piece of card.
Yeah.
Okay, so these lines don't mean anything, they're just lines, but what they do have are 1 centimetre increments.
Oh, okay.
So that's 1 centimetre, that's 2, 3,
what you're
and
gonna,
4.
yeah.
And you know what you're going to use? Penny strop.
Yeah.
Yay! So rather than burning your fingers, you've got a nice straight edge there. It's quite a decent weight card, but I just think it really makes that step a lot easier
rather than
having to use your tape measure or your, I don't know, your quilter's rule, and you don't want to melt it.
No.
You know, so this is just paper. You can't do anything with this. It's not going to ruin it. Just get another piece of card.
We got a cereal box.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So I'm going to use that to give me my 1 centimetre
1 centimetre
seam allowance. So all I'm going to be doing is folding over and then just butting the card up to where it needs to be. So you can see that it's on the line now.
Perfect.
So that's all I've done. All I've done. So I'm just taking that now. That's one. And what it also gives you is a nice straight edge as well, so you can really work that all the way down. And you know that
giving you that definition.
Absolutely.
Exactly a centimetre. You know you're getting it.
You know you're getting that all the way around.
So if you've got anything in your basket, remember as well, it's just 1 postage and packaging per day. So even if you added the sewing machine, it would still be $2.95 per day, and it's added on at midnight, so it's capped. You won't be charged twice. So you can check out as many times as you like throughout the show. If you look at that shopping list from everything that's been on the show today underneath on the website, on the live feed, you can add all throughout the day, and it wouldn't cost you any more. Also, if you haven't bought anything from us before, you get, if you spend £10 and over on your first order, you get a sewing quarters sewing kit. So you've got lots of little things in there, different threads and scissors and needles. I've got one here actually. I'll just show you. Great to take on your travels if you're heading away somewhere, or just, you know, to pop in your sewing bag. Just really lovely. I'll just quickly show you what's inside. And that's worth £14.95. So any order over £10, if you bought some fabric and the pattern in this show or something earlier, this will be sent to you too.
They're so handy, those.
Isn't it? It's just easy, isn't it? One of those things.
And you never know when you need one either. There's been many a show where I've gone, I can't find my own picture. Look what I've got.
Grab one out of there.
You can never have too many sewing kits, definitely. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pressed in my 1 centimetre seam allowance. And very similar to what we did earlier with our front facing, we need to do this with the backing as well, where we need to reduce that bulk. So it's a sort of similar process there, where because I've pressed it in, I know where the corners are, so I'm just making sure these two are flat. You can see I've got a little triangle there, so I can snip that triangle off, okay? That's that one. Again, just folding back. It's nice to have some scissors that actually cut at the end as well. I need
all
to
the
invest.
designers always request these rose gold scissors. They all love them.
Well, my scissors are getting old now. And
Is
battered.
it time to
Yeah,
for
you
a
can
change?
always tell
Yeah.
when the end starts going.
But I imagine you get very attached to your, you know,
you
you've done so
do.
much with those scissors. You just think
been
like,
through so much.
Yeah, but you have. Like,
It's true.
you
It's
know,
really true.
And they're your scissors. You don't want.
Oh yeah, they're definitely my scissors.
They're not for paper. They're not.
yeah. She's learning.
No, I'm
You're
I am.
learning well. Okay, so there we have our back. All of our raw edges are pressed in. So now we have our front section there. So all that's going to be doing is going in on top of that. Okay, that's where it's
Yeah.
going to end up. But before we get there...
The wrong sides together.
No, so I'm just showing you where it needs to be. The temptation is to go straight in and pop this and cover all your raw edges, but you actually need to do it the other way around.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to flip it. Okay, so this is where your points of reference, can you see how that mark's already coming out already?
Yeah.
Which is great. So I'm just going to pop a pin. So we've got our point of reference here, which is like my big blodge there. So I'm popping my pin through there. And then I'm going to pop my pin through that section there.
Okay.
That's one. And then we've got our 2 points of reference here as well at the top. Let me bring that down for you, sorry. You've got your 2 points of reference here. It's the very same process there. So you can see my dots are there and underneath.
Just lining those up.
Just lining those up.
Great how quick that pen really does. Like it does disappear. It isn't going to mark your fabric. It's already
yeah.
on the move.
No, it's all going, it's all going. Okay, so now we talked about how deep you want your neckline. So for this pattern, you would basically be following that dotted line if that's how deep you want your neckline. But if you've made the decision, no, actually I want it here, you would just sew to there and come all the way back up. So this is where you can make your quick adjustment.
if
Rather
you
than
wanted
making
to.
adjustments to the pattern, which we did at the very beginning, this is where you can do your quick method.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you just want to.
So once you've got that pinned in place, now we're going to sew our V in place. All right?
Okay.
we
Before
go,
you start
Susie?
sewing, we're just going to have a quick look at the fabric. Yeah. So I'll just show you these different options we've got today for the dresses. So we're going to start with which one do we want to start with? Let's start with this one that we've got here on the really lovely tunic on our mannequin. So this is the Tropicana from Amy Butler. You've got those really lovely summery flowers, the gorgeous leaves of the flower too, in your greens, your turquoises, a lilac, a lovely crushed raspberry colour there in that flower. You could fussy cut that actually, really lovely, really bold, vibrant colours. Perfect for a summer dress. You could make a little matching bag in that as well. Oh, we've got bags coming up as well in the next hour. You can make a nice little bag. Then we've also got the Oh Dear, which is the one that we're just working with at the moment. This one's my favourite. Loving the deers in here. Oh, I've just turned it over on a part where we can't see a deer. They're all in the middle. They're all hiding. They're here. I was trying to find a good bit where there's lots of deers. So you can see those there. But that coral colour, there they all are. A family of deers there. So again, that's from Amy Butler, $6.95. If that one's in your basket, just make sure you do check it out. And then the next one is this is the most popular, which is Garden Fate. So this one here, again, really vivid with those gorgeous flowers. You've got little tassels in that as well. Almost like a wreath of flowers. And the lovely magenta pink flowers there. So this one's from the Violet range, VERW82. Fantastic for summer. Really, really fantastic. Then the other option, if you want something slightly different to these, to the Amy Butlers, is your denim print from Art Gallery. So this lovely lightweight cotton, but that looks like a denim, with these lovely sort of painted flowers on there. Lovely soft design. This one's $11.45 per half metre. But you can see that lovely texture that's been created, almost like it's been painted on. XDHN15 for that one. And then the last thing, we've got a couple of solids if you need them, particularly that would work well with these Amy Butlers. So you've got the fuchsia that we've used here on the neckline, $3.25 per half metre for that one. And that's your Spectrum solid from Makawa. Then you've got the latte that we're using. We could head back over to Jenny, but we're using the latte at the moment with the Oh Dear. So we can see it here.
Latte.
Latte.
That's the word.
We went for, what did we say?
Oaty.
It was a bit oaty. It's foodie, drinky related.
We can tell we're hungry. We can tell we're hungry. Okay, so I've not done anything. I've just brought it over to the sewing machine. So we're going to sew in our V to create that V neckline.
Yeah.
So we're starting at the top there. So again, I'm just going to reverse just to lock it in place. And the great thing about these pens is that you can actually, you know, mark out your stitch line. So rather than having to kind of do it by eye from the needle up to that point of reference down there, I physically drew the dotted line that was on the paper
there
to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. Okay.
And that interfacing, just adding again that stability
Just
to
that
it.
structure, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Okay, so I'm just going to go back. So now I'm in that bottom part. So what I would do is rotate and try and avoid doing one stitch and then pivoting straight back up. I would do at least one stitch. Oh, that was close. One stitch. So all I'm doing is just reversing that back down, so I'm not doing a second stitch. One stitch across and then go back up, because then that just gives you a point to move. Whereas if it goes straight in, sometimes it's a bit too tight.
Yeah.
And again, it makes that area a little bit weak. So just to give it one step across and then go up. So I'm just going to leave the needle in, rotate and pivot. Make sure I've not got any of my garment underneath. You don't want to be sewing that down.
Amazing the difference that one little stitch could make to, you know, how tight or how
tight that works.
a bit of flexibility.
It kind of stops it from puckering a little bit as well. So I'm just working my way up to my second point of reference. You can see that now. And again, I'm just going to do a quick back stitch there just to secure it in place. Okay, so that's that. So that's my V cut sewn in. So now this is where you go, oh,
We're going to snip.
I don't want to do it. You're going to cut all the way down. So this is where you need to be very...
Is this just straight down the... Yeah.
Straight down the middle, and this way, because you've got that one step in that stitch, it gives you space for the blade to get down there to make the cut.
Right into
whereas
the point.
If it's super V like that, you can't get in. Whereas if it's a little bit like that, then you can.
Yeah.
And you can get that nice tight cut what we're looking for. So now this is where you push everything in to the other side. Let's flip it.
This is why we didn't do wrong sides together.
That's right. So like I say, you need to resist doing it where you think it's going to go. It will go there, but
Follow instructions.
You need to do something before you can get there. So this is where you need to start folding back your raw edges into here, and then obviously you've already gone ahead and pre-pressed that area there. So this is where your iron comes into play.
Do you want it back out?
I might just
What do you
check. I
reckon?
think we're running out of time,
Okay.
aren't we?
For about 5 minutes.
Are we?
So that 1 centimetre there just allowing you to tuck it out
Just
under.
allows you to
yeah.
tuck it under. There's that one. Then just fold that back. So what I like to do is actually rub my fingers together. So you see how I'm pushing that seam forward? Whereas this here is quite baggy. If you just rub your thumb and forefinger together, I'm pushing that seam forward. That gives you a nice crisp edge there. Okay. So once I've got that, I can pop that pin in there. And then
I love when you just see it come together.
Starts coming together,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Just pop that there.
It goes from being just 2 pieces of, you know, like rectangles
Fabric.
of fabric to, yeah.
So I'm just popping some pins into my area just so I can show you what it looks like from this side. So you can see how that's really nicely faced all of that area. So you can't see any of the raw edges anymore. That's all done. And then from the front, you've still got that nice clean edge here, that nice point at the bottom there, and again, no raw edges on this side. So this is why you work the front section first, because then you haven't got to worry about all the tucking that's happening in the back, even though it's still quite a clean process.
Yeah.
This is like super clean on the front.
There's no fuss there.
There's no fuss there at all. So the only thing, so what you could do now, you've got 2 options. You could either go in and stitch in the ditch, because you've got a 1 centimetre hem on the other side where you've got a 1.5 seam allowance on this side. And stitching in the ditch is where you stitch in between the 2 lines there.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that saying.
Okay, so it's just where the 2 fabrics meet, basically, and you're going down the valley. That's basically what you're doing.
That makes sense.
The other option is that you edge stitch, so you're giving a nice decorative stitch, and that's where you go, you're on the, I'm going to say oat, it's not oat, is it? Sorry.
Latte.
The latte. You're on the latte fabric, but you're really, really close to the edge, and again, you know that's going to catch that underside because you've done all that work already. Okay, and then the last version is that what you would actually do is slip stitch this. So this will be, you won't see any stitching at all. So this is where you run the needle through that folded area there, but you catch the smallest amount of fabric on your main Oh Dear fabric. Then come back up and then go through this. So it's like a ladder stitch, which I'm sure we've seen in between the shows. But this is where you actually take a little bit of fabric of the main fabric, like the smallest amount.
So you're just catching it together.
So you're just catching it, and then you're running along length in the hem like you would do a ladder stitch. So you've got your invisible version, which is your slip stitch. You've got your stitch in the ditch, which means you will see stitches on the back side, but not on the front side.
Yep.
Or you've got your edge stitch, which will mean we'll see the decorative stitch on the outside, which is what we've got on our
So any option,
sample
and you
here.
could even choose, a colour thred that, you could pick
exactly.
out a much darker orange
Absolutely. I mean, you could run ribbon around this. You could add gems or semi-precious stones.
Or the drawstring that you were saying earlier, if you wanted to.
You could do some embroidery in that section. Again, it's your tunic. Knock yourself out. Make it,
you want to do.
Make it special for you. Definitely.
Great. So then from there, the next part would have been you've obviously there's a collar, isn't there? That's how you would add.
There is a collar. Yes. So this is where you've got your this section here. So again, very similar to our facing here. You have a interfaced and a non-interfaced side, and all you would do now is attach that piece to this piece here.
Okay.
So you've got that round neckline there. So again, you've got all your points of reference that you need to be looking at. So I've gone ahead and done that already. So this is where that point would meet here.
Yeah.
And these are your shoulder seams are. And if I just bring that down here, you've got a centre back reference. Obviously, you'd have your back piece, which we
so
haven't
you would know
attached
where that's
yet.
going to.
If I just bring that down, so you've got your shoulder sections here. You would have another piece here before you enter the neckline in. But you've got all of your points of reference. So just make sure before you lift that paper off the fabric that you've
marked it.
That you've made all of your notches and all your markings, and you won't go wrong because everything will piece together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Perfect. Oh, well, thank you so much,
You're
Jenny.
welcome.
So we've been looking at that tunic top this morning from the McCall's pattern, 2 different options, gone into lots of detail on creating that lovely neckline, which has a really perfect for the summer, and we looked at customising it, didn't we, to make it shorter or longer depending on what you like. And there is actually going to be a slip stitch tutorial, which I think you did in the next break, so you'll be able to watch that and see what that's going to be. So we've also looked at those different fabrics in this hour. We've got the Oh Dear one here, which is my favourite, and the latte that we've paired that with, and there were also the other Amy Butler fabrics and the Art Gallery denim. But thanks, Jenny.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No, lovely, lots of fun, and we'll be back in 3 minutes, so don't go anywhere.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do a slip stitch, which is basically a hemming stitch that is almost invisible on both the right and the wrong sides of the fabric. So I'm going to start with a needle and thread. I'm going to use embroidery thread here so you can see what I'm doing, and I haven't put a knot in the end of my thread. I'm going to secure my thread though using a double stitch. So I'm going to go in through my layers here, through the single hem. I'm going to leave a tail before doing my double stitch here. So I'm just going to go through 1, twice there. That's giving me my double stitch or locking stitch, ready to then do my slip stitch. Okay, so first of all, you need to take the smallest amount of fabric. So you want at least 1 or 2 pieces of thread in the fabric before then going into the fold of your single hem. And you're going to run your needle through that fold before pulling it out. And then again, a couple of stitches. Bearing in mind I'm using a really big needle here because I'm using an embroidery thread. But you get the idea where you're just catching your material there. Before again placing your needle in through the fold of your single hem. You want to keep these as even as possible. I'm just doing my last stitch now. So here you can see that you can't really see the stitches from the back of the piece, so this would be the back of the trouser leg, the bit that you wouldn't see, and then from the front you should only see very small stitches, if not at all, if you're using the right needle and thread.
Welcome back to our last hour here this morning at Sewing Quarter. It's bags of fun, so we've got lots of lovely bag options this morning with pattern and different bag handles to make your bags look more professional. So this morning we've got some different fabric options. They're in fabric bundles for you, which is a great way of teaming up the fabrics, taking out the hard work so that the wadding's slipping down the table, so that the colours are all matched up perfectly. These are some of our most popular bundles that we've ever had on the show, so we've brought them back to show you in this hour. Now remember, we love to hear from you, so please do get in touch. You can head to the website, and if you go to the watch page, you'll see the live feed of what's happening on today's show. And if you just scroll down underneath that, there's a box there. It's just coming. So we just scroll down, and that's saying message the studio, so you can drop us a message, say hello, what are you making, or if you've got any questions about the certain fabrics or the designers, or what the colours are working well together, anything like that, you can let us know. Or alternatively, you can email us, studio@sewingquarter.com. Send us a photo as well if you're emailing. Let us see what you've made. Underneath all of that, you'll see there's a shopping list of everything that's been on today's show. So those premier fabrics, those lovely linens and with the hearts and whales and things from the 10 o'clock show that were a launch at Sewing Quarter here this morning. And then those Amy Butler fabrics we were just working with Jennifer. And talking of Amy Butler, let's look at these fabrics that I've got. So I'm going to start with this one, which is this is a plum collection. You've got really rich, lovely plum colours here. So we'll start with this one. This is like chevrons on the fabric here. So you've got a lovely lime green paired with a coral. So that's quite a classic colour combination there. But then on the background, you've got that plum colour, the rich plum, and also a lovely lilac. So you're getting 1/2 metre of that one. And that's paired with another Amy Butler here, a floral print, this one. So a nice feminine print there. You've got those lovely blossoming flowers, lovely scalloped edges on the flowers there, really curvy. It's like a wine colour, isn't it? That background there, that burgundy. Really beautiful. From the Bright Heart fabric bundle. And then to team with that, we've got Claret, which is this lovely, rich, plummy colour as well, that wine colour, and that works really well with those two Amy Butler designs. So you can see that solid there. $14.95 for those, for 1.5 metres of those fabrics in total. VFGC 95 for that Amy Butler bundle. So that's, you can see that there, that colour collection all working really well together. The chevrons, the flowers, and the solids. Now the next one is a lovely summery one here. You've got sky and sunshine. That's how I would describe this, because you've got your yellows and your blues. Just to warn you, this one is low in stock already. So this is the Peacock Dreams bundle. If you do like the look of it, you will just have to add it to your basket. So you've got, I'll start with the peacock itself. So this is from Dashwood Studios. Last time we bought this bundle on, it did sell out, so a really popular fabric there. A lovely colour palette. Oh, we've actually only got 11 of these bundles in stock. Hardly any at all this morning. So if you do want it, you might want to to grab it. So you've got your peacocks there with your greens and blues and your navy, the navy bird. Then you've got a lovely cornflower blue here as your spectrum solid, which matches perfectly with that Dashwood Studio print. So if you're adding your binding to something or a facing, a really nice way to bring in the solids. So you can just see there, those two together. Matches really, really well. And then to bring out that yellow, if you were using two fabrics and you just wanted to, make a colour pop, if you bring the yellow in next to that peacock, you can see how that just draws that. And it's just, I think yellow never fails to make you happy. It's just, it's so cheerful, isn't it? A really bright sunshine. This is called sunshine, so it spots on sunshine there. That lovely polka dot, and you can see it with the yellow in the peacock. So that one there is Peacock Dreams, £12.95 for that one. So again, you're getting 1.5 meters in total. GRGC46, and again, we have only got 11 of those. So we probably will be in single figures pretty quickly. I'll update you as we go, so don't panic. And then our last one, we don't want the wadding to go flying. Oh, I'm going to lay it down. Let's not risk it. So this is Joel Dewberry. So you'll start with the print. Again, here you've got a floral. Oh, this is lovely. A teal background here on this one. This will be a really nice, you could make a nice tote bag with this, or a shopping carrier. So this is the teal rose bouquet. You can see there those lovely little white flowers on the teal background, and those lime greens. And then we've paired that there with, we've got a spot-on fabric again, an aqua spot-on. So I'll just lay that there. You can see those colours together. That blue palette, all tying in really beautifully. And then you've also got the azure blue. So this is a slightly darker. Really nice. You can see that sort of picked out there in the leaves. Or just want to add to your stash. Perhaps you like the print, or you would use the polka dot for a certain project, or the solid. Just nice to have those different options. But the designed patterned fabric itself, I think, would be really perfect for one of these bag projects. So I did warn you about the Peacock Dreams. It's already selling. That's already moving quite quickly. So if you think you're tempted, you might have to make your decision a bit on fast forward if it's one that you do want. This was the Peacock Dreams one here with Dashwood Studios. So you can just see that there on your screens with the lovely sunshine spot on. The peacock fabric with that tropical feel. And then also the blue. So GRGC46, and that one is £12.95. So you've probably, what have we got here? Oh, I haven't got the book. Where's the book? Oh, we're doing a book, but the book isn't here. So we'll do the book in a second, and I'll start with all these other bits we've got on the table. So this is all about making your bags have that really nice professional finish. Of course, you can make a handle out of your fabric to tie in with what you're making, but sometimes adding, an actual a man-made handle that's got that durability and strength just gives you that professional finish, and also makes it a slightly more hard wearing, something that's going to take a bit more. If you've got heavy weights and things in it, wear and tear, that's the word I'm looking for. So I'll start with these stabilizers. So you've got these here in two different color options. So stabilizers are about adding that strength to the bag. So you can pop it in the bottom of your bag, to give you some structure. I'll start with the white one. So you can see this here. This is the Clover Shape and Create bag and tote stabilizer. I'll just hold that there. Last time we bought this sold out. So this is for the professional shaping. If you just look here at the top, you can see how you would add it here to the bottom of your bag. Just there, this is where you would insert it. Really easy to cut. but giving you that durability and still easy to work and sew with. It's a medium weight, so you're getting 5 inches by 20 inches of that, or 13 centimetres by 51 centimetres. And you get 2 pieces in there. It's a medium weight, so you've got that, just giving you that bit of extra shape to your bag. Then you've also got it in black, so perhaps if you're making a navy bag or something darker, if you're using the Peacock Dreams or maybe the teal option, you're going to perhaps want to work with a darker stabiliser. So this black one here, exactly the same sizes. Again, your 2 sheets. And these did sell out last time they were on the show, so £8.85. FAGQ 72 for your stabilisers. So really it's just a choice of colour options with these stabilisers from Clover this morning. So if you wanted to if you're making a really summery bag in those light colours, obviously black wouldn't be a wise choice. You'd go for your white or vice versa, whatever you think. So we have also got a pattern, and we haven't got it here in the studio, but I wish we did, because I was really excited when I saw this pattern when I was looking at what we had on the shows today. This is from Noodlehead, really big in the blogging world online. It's run by a lady called Anna, and she has a really big following, on the internet with her blogging. It's called Noodlehead because her daughter's got really tight blonde curly hair, and her nickname used to be Noodlehead because of that curly hair. So that's how we got the name of the brand. So this is a maker's tote. It's £9.95, and you've got 2 size options for the bag itself, so a smaller one and a larger one. And it's a classic, it's like an old-fashioned doctor's bag. Now the large bag is 16 inches wide, 13 inches high, and 7.5 inches deep. So it's quite sizable, and also inside you've got lots of pockets, so it's perfect for storing if you're going to a sewing class, or for all of your arts and crafts as a storage solution even. Then the smaller bag, the same shape again, but it's 12 inches wide, 10 inches high, and 6 inches deep. So it's a smaller version of it, perhaps if it's for carrying slightly smaller things around. But again, you've got a zippered pocket inside. You've also got a gusseted pocket, so if you wanted to, you've got the depth there to store different things. And you've got an option with that to add a zip on the top. So you've got a really tight, secure top on it. So it's not going to, everything's not going to fall out. And you've got the option to add a zip in there as well. So just giving you, obviously, that extra bit of safety if you've got things that you don't want to fall everywhere. But you can't, obviously on that still, you can't turn it around. But just to describe the shape, it is that classic doctor's bag shape where it's fatter at the bottom and just pinching in at the top. So you've got that, you can see there in the apex at the side, just giving you some depth for everything that you want to pop in, whether that's knitting, and also not only stylish, but great as a storage option if you want to hang it on some hooks in a sewing room, or even just to take it with you to class or on holiday. Nothing to stop you using it as a handbag or a travelling bag. Great if you're going maybe on a train journey and you want to take a project with you, just to keep everything in one place. So the Noodlehead patterns, really straightforward, easy to follow, and they're really beautiful patterns in that they're illustrated really well, so they're nice and easy to follow. So CPHN93 wanted to bring you getting 1.5 meters of fabric there, and we are focusing on bags in this Bags of Fun hour. So this book here, Bags and Totes, and this is by Sue Marsh. And you've got lots of different options in here, some inspiration. If we go with our lovely overhead camera, we can flip through the book and see what you've got inside, some different ideas. So here you've got, this is Sue, the author, and she talks a lot about how she is very passionate about starting a project, and she wants to get it finished. She wants to, once she starts, it's about moving quickly through it. She likes having the ideas, and then she wants to move, get on with it. She doesn't want to mess around. So it's really concise projects that you can get on with really sort of quickly and easily. So you've got here the Big Easy. This is a lovely bag for taking everything to class or away with you somewhere. You start with a shopping list. So this bag unbuttons, or it unsnaps at the top here. You've got 2 different fastening options. Or you could also even add a zip in there. And this expands, it's a jumbo bag, so you've got loads of space in there for anything you want to store. So you've got this checklist here, a shopping list of everything you need, talking you through, your fabric yardage in both inches and in metric. You can tick it all off, everything you need to have. Then here, this isn't something you see often in books, but we've got cutting the pieces. So it's got these really great cutting diagrams showing you where all of these different pieces line up together, how they all come together to create the shape. Sometimes, you might cut out all of these pieces. How do you even know where to connect them? So you've got the all the different sizes there next to the fabrics, showing you which size everything is, how many times you need to cut those out. So you've got your table there, your cutting diagrams there. Now, just a quick update. Oh, there's only 2 peacocks left. So that Dashwood one with the lovely sunshine yellow and the peacock blue with the Spectrum solid as well. There's only 2 in stock. So you can see that on your screen there. We do apologise. It sold out last time it was on, so we managed to bring a couple back today, but we did only have limited stock of that, and we're down to 2 already. So that's at the bottom of your screen there, GRGC46. If it is in your basket, just so if you haven't bought anything from Sewing Quarter before, if something's added to your basket, it doesn't mean that you've not purchased it yet, it's not completed. So all you have to do is just make sure you check out, and then it's yours. You've claimed it, if you like. So you just need to check out, and remember, you can do that as many times as you like, because you'll only be charged 1 lot of postage and packaging. So there are 2 left of that. You get 1.5 meters of your fabric there. But back to the book, just to keep you updated. We're going to end up with no fabric left if everything flies this quickly. We're just going to be left with bag handles. So talking you through the cutting diagram and the pieces. We were creating here this big easy bag. Then again, as you go through, then it talks to you about making the body of the bag. So you've got this great, even an interfacing cutting diagram. So showing you everything there, really intricate diagrams, talking you through it all. And then talking you through how to make the pockets. So step-by-step instructions, talking you through with references to your figures, exactly, specifically where you're going to be, talking you how to press up your pockets and your sides. See, this is all for one bag, all of these instructions for that first bag I showed you. Making the handles, attaching the handles. Then you've got making and attaching the button loops, making the tab. I've got a bag this exact shape. Yep. Really with that lovely fold over tab there with the button, or you could use a different fastening there, that button loop. But all of these pages, so we're on page 12 of the book, and that's talking you all through just that one project. So you've got someone there holding your hand. And here it is for you to actually see. So then it talks you through making that lower lining. And this was those different fastening options I was just mentioning. So here you've got a button, if you wanted to use a button. We can that one there. Then you've got the option there, I don't know if colour-wise you can see, but there's a magnetic clasp. Perhaps if you like that pop, that snap of a nice button. Or you've got the option of a zip. If you want that, complete security to have it closed from side to side, you can add the zip in there. So all those different fastening options within that one bag. So this is the Totes and Bags booklet by Sue Marsh. I personally would probably go for a zip. I just think, particularly if you're commuting or you're on the train or the tube, it's quite nice to know you've got that security of a zip with your bag completely done up. But the button's also nice. So all of those details there. I was going to show you, look at these as well with your pockets. So you can you can tell she's American, making the cell phone pocket. So making your mobile phone pocket there in the bag. Loads of detail. Then moving on to the next bag, this one here is talking you through 3 different tote options. So you've got here the pinwheel tote, you've got the pocket tote, and the charms on point tote, so different quilting options there. This one is utilising a charm pack. So if you've got one in your stash and perhaps you haven't got a project idea for it, this is a great way, because with those different quilting options, a great way of combining your different fabrics if you've already got them in your stash, or perhaps you've seen some on the show that you don't have an idea for. So again, that shopping list there, everything you need. Then we've got again, that cutting the pieces, so your table there talking you through. This one here is got a fusible fleecing with this one. So you've got that lovely, that's when you have a softness in a bag. I really love that, when you've got almost like a cushion. So we've got some wadding, but you know when you have a bag that's got that fusible fleecing in it, it just feels lovely and soft, doesn't it? So you've got the cutting charts, you've got the fusible fleecing diagrams, and then you've got, as you come through, I just wanted to show you this, which is an optional drawstring closure, which I think I haven't seen that very often. So just tying the bag in there. If you've got lots of loose sort of belongings in there, a great way of keeping it tight. Or I think this would be perfect for a swimming bag or something for children, you know, if they're taking their goggles and their swimming hat and everything, or a PE bag, something for sports at school, and you want to keep everything in one place. That drawstring, just a really easy way for them to keep that all together. So just two of the bags I've shown you through there, but loads of detail on assembling it, all the different diagrams. We're only on page 25, so I'll come back and show you some of the other bags, but I just wanted to highlight that it really is detailed in talking you through the step-by-step instructions of the projects. So GKMZ 49, and that's £12.95 for that Sue Marsh book. Now, the fabric bundles are always popular. Shall we go back over? So we've got here, you can see that one on your screen. You've got that lovely teal rose bouquet. So it's 3 half-metre bundles. And you've got a spot on there in aqua, a lovely solid blue. And then I'm going to open this one here for you to see. So this is a half-metre in the rose bouquet. Let's have a waft. Here it is. Really lovely. That would be this. I tell you what I would use this one for. The tote that I just spoke about with that fusible fleece inside that would be really soft. I think using a lovely feminine floral print lends itself to those lovely soft bags. So that's your printed one there, with that lovely detail with the white flowers and that little splash of orange as well. And that's teamed with your spot on, which I'll open up to. So your your half-metre again. That's a lovely bright aqua there. So perhaps you could pop that through in a pocket, or if you were using that drawstring top on the bag there that I just showed you, you could use that for some extra detail. A classic polka dot there. And then we've got the azure blue in the solid. If you're going, again, if you wanted to add some binding or something to it. So again, half-a-metre for that one. 100% cotton in that solid there. Just that rich uniform colour. You know what you're getting with those. Now there is limited stock on all of these bundles. The peacock one, the peacock has sold out, but we've still got some of both of these, so I'll just show you them in case you like these ones instead. So we'll just see this one more time. That's the teal rose bouquet, CKGC 92. If that one's in your basket, £12.95. Remember, you can give us a ring, 0800 112 4433. It's a UK-based call centre. They'll be really happy to help you if you've got any questions about the fabric. Perhaps if you're not sure how much it is of each one or anything like that, you want to ask a question, give them a ring. They'll be happy to help you out. Now this one is our Amy Butler. So we've had some lovely Amy Butler fabrics on the show today in that vintage tea dress hour as well. So I'm going to start with this one. I've not seen this one before. This is a chevron print. So you've got those lovely V's that have been created there. I'll hold it up actually so you can see. You've got a coral and a lime green. And then you've also got a plum This would be lovely for a beach bag or a summer bag. If perhaps you're wearing, so that lovely dress we were making in the first hour, the vintage tea dress, if you were making that in a solid fabric, in a plain, really lovely to just inject some pattern with a bag or an accessory, and this fabric would be great for that. Then you've also got this floral, another Amy Butler, again on that lovely burgundy background. And this one's got some lighter flowers on that, so you've got your lilacs, you've got your greens, you've got that beautiful curvy edge there on the flowers, that scalloped edge. The flowers almost look appliqued onto that background there. I think because the background colour is so solid and rich, the flowers themselves really pop. And you could even fussy cut these. You know, you could take a section of that and use it on the plain fabric that's also paired with this. So it's teamed with this this claret solid, so that lovely wine colour. There's nothing to stop you appliquing on a flower. We were saying earlier about how applique and embroidery is so on trend at the moment, really fashionable. So for £14.95, you're getting 1.5 metres of fabric, 0.5 metre of your claret, 0.5 metre of your floral, and 0.5 metre of that chevron print. You could also make, you know, some lovely accessories with this, whether that's a makeup bag, or you could make a really girly pencil case, perhaps as a present for a grandchild or a child. You could make a toiletry bag or anything like that. I think that's a very feminine bundle there. Just a quick note. If you do buy 2 of these, they do still come in 0.5 metres, so it wouldn't be 1 metre cut off the bolt, it would still be 2 lots of 0.5 metres. So although you'd have 3 metres of fabric in total, because these are bundled together, it is pre-cut in 0.5 metre strips, so it wouldn't be, say, 1 metre of the flower. But obviously you can multi-buy, it would just be in sections. So while we're here, we've also got some wadding, lots of wadding, it's like a big cuddly cushion this morning. So this is a polyester wadding, which is, as you can see there, a soft and washable one there, perfect for your quilting. If you want to add some wadding to oven gloves or tea cozies, or your toys and accessories. Nothing to stop you adding it to a lovely soft bag. So only £4.95 for that. ZPGQ 93, and there's so much wadding there. I love wadding; it makes me happy. So it's 100 centimetres by 100 centimetres, or 1 metre by 1 metre. ZPGQ 39 is your item number for that one. Oh, I'm going to lay it down. If you're making a bag, we've got some bag handles. So let's just head over to the other side so you can have a look at those. Lots of different options. All about, actually I'm going to bring a fabric over so you can see. Sorry, let's go forward and back. Let's bring this pink. Okay, so these different handles, obviously different thicknesses, different shapes, different sizes, different lengths, all of them come as a pair. So rather than having that one handle on the bag, you've got the option to open the bag out and have 2. I personally really like these plaited handles. I think they have a really summery feel to them. Absolutely perfect for a beach bag. That, you know, plaits just remind me of lots of, you know, sort of summer hairstyles with festivals and things like that. So this grey one here, so you get 2 of these, 2 pieces, and they're 62 centimetres. So this is the Prim bag handle, the Nicole, and this is in grey. If I open one out, you can see there. So that's your 62 centimetres. So this is the sort of length where if you were hold a bag, you've got enough length there to hold it really comfortably. So you'd have 2 of those like that. I would certainly match this with that solid, would work really beautifully with that plum colour. I think the grey, if I'm just with this one here. But then also you've got the option of a neutral. So again, it's that plaited strap with you've got a wooden hoop on there, so you can see there, it just gives you that strength. If you tug that and you've got lots in your bag, if you were just sewing a cotton handle onto your bag, it wouldn't be necessarily all that durable, but that there is really strong. So this is your beige handle. Again, you've got 2 of those at 62 centimetres. if I just hold it out, you can see the plait there. I just think it adds a really professional finish. It's not something that you could really create yourself. This one would work with this whole bundle, but particularly this floral, if I just hold those, if you see that here. And handles are always popular. That there, you can just see that beige picking out the flower. A really nice way of just adding an extra touch to your bag, an extra finish. So that's $15.95, BNHN 75. So the beige is actually the most popular so far already. That goes super quick. Now there is an option to have a navy as well. So perhaps if you've got the blue fabric bundle, I'm going to move those to the side. I don't know if we can grab one of those blue fabrics. I can just show you. Do you mind we can add that in. So we've got a navy fabric there. A navy handle, which so you've got your plait, that plaited handle again, but in that lovely, you can see there, that's the teal rose bouquet bundle. So that's your blue. I just wanted to bring in the fabric so you can see how that works together. So this is your navy handle if you want to go for something a little bit darker. Perhaps, if the bag itself, this one's called Claudia. If the bag itself is perhaps a darker fabric, something that you want to use all year round, more of a winter bag, or perhaps it is a light summer bag in a bright summery print and you want to just add a darker handle. This one is the Claudia in blue, 2 pieces. Again, 62 centimetres for those 2 handles there. And would just work really well with those blue fabrics. A bit of a beach-like feel, isn't it, always with a blue, with your sea-like colours. So RIHN 61 for the handles. Again, those ones are $15.95. So there are 3 different options in your plaiting style: your grey, your beige and your navy. Again, all with those wooden hoops that really easy to just attach onto your bag and to give you that strength and durability. Let's move those fabrics. There they all are. You can see those there, your different colour options. So there are two other different twisted options, but I'll show you this one first. So this one's called the Teresa. We've got a whole collection of names this morning, of bag handle names. So this is an artificial leather. It's got almost like a snakeskin type effect on the leather. If we come in really close, you might be able to see that. So this is a black handle. There you can see it, that texture. So ready to attach onto your newly crafted bag. Again, adding that professional touch. So this is the Prim bag handle, the Teresa. You've got 2 of these in there. And again, you've got that nice shape there, just adding that detail to the bag. If you attach that onto the outside of your fabric, where that's going to lay, you just get that lovely teardrop shape, which is really nice. So that's an artificial black leather, QRHN 36 for those ones. Again, $15.95. This is almost putting a price on how prepared are you to, if you have a bag and you go out and you've got loads in there and the handle snaps and goes everywhere. Really, you want a handle that's got that that strength and durability. So this is your Isabella, another name. So 2 handles. This is a slightly longer handle, so perfect if you want, because you could pop this over your shoulder and there'd still be enough height there for the bag to sit just underneath. So it's nice that you've got that slightly more length with this one. So this is $13.95. This is a lovely weave there, you can see, with a nice sort of bronzy colour coming through, and some lighter creams and browns, and that's a black and the black handle itself. Then I'll just show you the actual way you would attach to the bag. So this one is taking a square hoop, and you've got a twist around that. So I'll just show you so you can see there, almost like a buckle. A slightly different shaping option. And this is almost like a rope, the texture of that. So that one's $13.95. then, your other one, this one's shorter, so if I pop those together, you can see the difference in shape. So this is a much longer handle, perfect for a shoulder bag. This is shorter, much better for if perhaps you've got a little small general handbag or a clutch bag. This would be much better for that sort of project. So again, you get two pieces in there. This is a goldy fill. This is the Madeleine. So you've got a taupe-like colour with that gold and bronze twisted into that, so that you can see the woven one underneath and then the brown just twisted around it. This one's 34 centimetres, so almost half the length of the one before. But again, you've got that nice square buckle, and this is in a nice natural wood. I tell you what this will go perfectly with. The linen fabrics that we had at, what time would that have been? 9 o'clock. Those linen print fabrics, this would be really lovely because you've got that natural wood finish to the handle itself, and the colours would just tie in really well. And also the navy blue handle would go perfectly with that whale printed fabric. So we had a whale canvas, it was a premiere at 9 o'clock, a lovely beautiful OT background with a navy whale printed on it. And this handle would be perfect for a beach bag with that, and those colours would just tie in really beautifully. So 6 different handle options in this hour, the 3 plaits, the artificial leather, then you've got the 62 centimetre woven one and the 34 centimetre woven one. Now I've also got these stabilisers. These are now limited stock for both of these. They sold out last time they were on the show. The black's the most popular in this hour. And this is actually the most limited in stock too. So it's 51 centimetres in height and 13 centimetres across. You get 2 pieces in there. If this is in your basket, I'd just check it out to guarantee your order. So this is really easy to cut using either a rotary cutter and a ruler or your craft scissors. And it's just all about creating that shape, giving you that formation in the bottom of your bag. You know, sometimes if you've got a bag that tailors in at the top and becomes slightly smaller, it gives you that depth at the bottom so you can find things. You know, it gives you, rather than the shape all becoming closed, it keeps it nice and open. So also the option to buy that this morning in the white. So this one's back in stock after selling out. Last time it was on, but limited availability. So again, that's your Clover bag and tote stabiliser. Here you can just see in these pictures where you would insert that in the bag, whether it's a square bag or a curvy one. Because you've got the flexibility in this, you can bend it. You've got that shaping there. I'll show you the back because you've also got some really clear instructions here on how to use it and what not to do with it, what to do with it, you know, how to cut it. Some notes from Nancy Zyman, from the Shape and Create range at Clover. But just talking you through that there, you can see all the cutting in your different languages too. So easy to cut, easy to sew, your 2 different stabiliser options in black and white. So the white one, BM GQ65, and that's £8.85. So we've sold out of one of the fabric bundles already this morning, the peacock one, but we have got 2 other options for you. Both of them are 1.5 metres of fabric, so you're getting 3 different fabrics, 0.5 metre of each, so 3 half-metre increments. I'll start with the teal rose bouquet. So that's from Joel Dewberry this morning. Lots of multi-buys on this, so perhaps if you're looking to put the fabrics together and create a slightly bigger project and you need some more fabric. So people that have bought this morning, we've got, morning to all of you, we've got Edna in Shropshire, Mary from Kent, Tracy from Essex, Shirley from Hampshire, Sylvia from Hampshire, lots of people, Karen from Cardiff, morning, hello, lovely to have you with us. Are you making a bag with them, or perhaps is it something else that you've got in mind for that? Let me know. So you've got your solid fabric there, that lovely turquoise. If I just leave that there on the table. Mixing and matching that pick and mix of fabric in this teal rose bouquet, CKGC92. Then you've got your spectrum, so that's your spectrum solids. Then here you've got your spot on, so that lovely classic polka dot. This one here would be perfect for a project, maybe perhaps for a baby, a little baby boy. Polka dots, very classic. And then you've got your floral print there. I'm just going to move that back so you can see a bit more. In your lime green flower there, all opening out and blossoming. And also that gorgeous little flower with the orange dot. A really soft collection, I feel, with this one. It's a really feminine and soft bundle. So half a metre of all of those, 1.5 metres in total, and that one's £12.95 from Joel Dewberry. Then your other option is a lovely rich red, so your burgundies and your wine colours here with your claret. So you've got that lovely solid there, which you can see here. Really, really rich. It's like a nice rich port, isn't it? Port colour. And then underneath that, you can see here your floral from Amy Butler. We were saying these almost look like they've been embroidered on or appliqued on because that lovely solid plum-like colour in your background there. So 1/2 metre of that one. These are 100% cotton. Really, really lovely. And on your selvage, where is it on the other side? Oh, it's on this one. I'll turn it over in a second. You can see your different colour in what's in your colour palette. And the one underneath is your chevrons. So you can see here on your on the selvage, you've got those all the different colours that are included. So you've got your lime green, you've got your lovely dark port colour, you've got a pink and a coral, and also that just your white there. But really lovely, just that really lovely shape. So £14.95. I've never seen this actual chevron print before. With that, it's like got a triangle print to it. Or if you look at it, you know, the corals and the burgundies together, it's like a parallelogram on your fabrics there. But it's almost, this one is called, the rhythm stripe. That's the official name of the fabric. So you've got those lovely diagonal stripes there coming through the fabric. And where they don't line up directly, they're almost slightly jarred across, just giving you that different shape and texture. We've had a lovely message from Diana. Oh, hi Diana, thanks for messaging in. Wants to see the book again. Let's have a look then. So the Debbie Shaw book. So we got up to page 25, so I'm going to carry on from there rather than show you the same again. It's like library time with Amy this morning. So we're moving on to the big shopper bag. So this one is a really big bag, perfect if you're taking lots of things with you. If you're taking a towel to the beach, you know, that's always quite a big bulky item. Sometimes you have to carry that separately. Not with this bag, you wouldn't. You could fit it right in there. And just what's lovely about this is it's giving you that option to add the detail with your initial. I don't know if you can see with the light, you can see there that M. Or the S here, or you could fussy cut something. So there are 3 large bags and 3 small bags in this shopper, so you can choose a variety of different heights and widths and depths, and you can custom those to you. And then you've also got here your shopping list and your finished sizes so you've got the large bags in A, B and C sizes. And you've got the smaller bag in a D, E and F, so 3 different sizes. So 6 different options in that shopper bag. As we go through, all you need to do is just add some fabric to your order. You could make some of these bags. So you've got the cutting the pieces there, that great table. Again, talking you through all your different pieces. And the chart shows you for both size options, your bigger and your smaller bag. So you can see there, that's the larger bag option. This is the smaller bag option. Then as we go through, if you weren't here when I started showing you the book earlier, what I was saying is rather than it being 1 page of instructions per bag, you get pages and pages talking you through really detailed step-by-step construction methods for making the inside pockets, making the lining, making and attaching the handles. You know, here you've got the optional sturdy bottom, so talking you about through how to, you know, if you wanted to add that stabilizer or add something to the bottom of the bag. All of the assembly there is spoken through in really clear detail. Then this one, we've got the BYOB, bring your own bag. So as we go through, You can see here you've got these cutting diagrams, which are great, so showing you how you're going to line all of that up to create the shape of the bag. So here you've got the a diagram, and then here you've got it with where you would put your, if you wanted to attach, you know, your applique here with your initial. This is a nice boxy bag, some real depth to it, if you're transporting lots of things. Then you've got a messenger bag there, with a lovely a fold over top and a pocket detail on the front. And then here you've got this lovely, this one is called Steps. They're moving through there. What's really lovely is you've got that, I don't know if you can see here, you've got this fold up detail here just on the side of the bag. So it almost looks like a pocket, but it's just giving you that extra shape and detail. You can add a button or your own embellishments. And look here, you've got these great pockets. Perfect, so you can see here that there's a mobile phone just been popped in there. But, you know, you can customise those pockets to whatever size, if you wanted them for a pen or a little notebook, or perhaps, you know, a card holder or your keys. And then we get to the back, and here are the patterns. So you've got your big easy patterns there. You've got the messenger bag patterns, the big shopper patterns. All of these here talking you through the different pockets, the linings, the front and back linings. Just great to have those there talking you through, you know, the cutting line for your fleeces. And then at the back, you've just got some general instructions on piecing, you know, cutting from a fat quarter, preparing your fabrics, using your rotary cutter, pressing a machine applique, so just finishing things off and adding your detail. A nice couple of pages there on that. Lovely. So that one's £12.95, GKMZ49. I've never seen this book before. It's by Sue Marsh. So really lovely as well with your quilting. You had quite a couple of options in there for quilting options with bags. So it's a stylish collection for whatever you would like to add to your wardrobe. Now, if you are making a bag, the handles are essential. Adding that professional finish, we've got these back in stock. They sold out last time they were on the show. So the most popular one at the moment is the leather look. So this is the Teresa. You get two handles in the bag here, in the pack. So it's almost like a snakeskin effect with that fake leather, that artificial leather there. 60 centimetres, and you can see that teardrop shape. I'm going to hold this up against a fabric so you can see, just adding a real professional finish. You know, if you teamed that with, I just want to make that flat. You can just see how that lovely teardrop shape on the handle is going to work really well together. So that's the Prim bag handle, Teresa, 2 pieces. And again, this you've got enough length in the handle there for that to fit quite comfortably over your shoulder and to feel like you can still fit the bag, and it's not going to, you know, it's not going to be falling off. So that's your leather one there. The next most popular is the Isabella, which is this. Oh, not this one. This one. There are too many names, they get mixed up. So this again is a nice long handle, perfect for a beach bag. You've got that twisted woven look to this one, where you've got here, you can see that lovely golden bronze all peeking through. If I just give that a little twist, you can see. And at the end of that, you can see that lovely, almost like a buckle detail. We wanted to bring these back. We have got limited stock. They sold out last time they were on the show. So you're getting 2 pieces in that lovely little rectangle detail there, again, that you can just add onto your professional finish. AGHN57 for that one. My favourite is actually the grey plaited handle. I think this is a really summery feel to this. It's almost a silvery grey. It's got a bit of a sheen to it and catch the light. Really, I think this lovely plaited feel just screams summer to me, and paired with that wooden hoop on the end. So you can see there you've got those 2 hoops. I'll just move it along so you can see. And as I showed you before, the great thing about that is you've just got that, you know, if I can give that a good pull, and it's really is, you've got some strength in that. It's like a curtain hook. So that's like a little wooden loop there. And that's your grey handle, which I think would go really well with the blue bundle, if I just show you here. So you can, I think grey and blue is a very classic combination, particularly say with this spot on there. That works really well together. Spot on, perfect. Look at that, it looks really lovely and summery. Again, even with this, with your Joel Dewberry, with your florals. But what's really interesting is if I swap those out for a different colour, it changes the look of the fabric as well. You know, what you choose to add, how you choose to embellish something, completely changes the overall finish. So if I bring in the beige here, again, this is almost a goldy colour. It looks like a blonde hair that's been plait, almost, doesn't it, with that plait there. But you can see that that beige works again with your florals because you've got an orange. The beige is actually the most popular out of all of the handles now. It's completely changed. And your wooden handle there would just, the colours work. And the other option is your navy. So let's just move those two. Really smart option here with your navy. Again, those wooden handles, they're all the same, and with that nice strength on the end there, just on the hoop. You can see there that's just really, really strong. And because it's plaited, you do get that extra strength, you know, that's all been woven together. So this is your navy one. This is called Claudia. 2 pieces, 62 centimetres again, so you can see both of those there. RIHN 61, and that's $15.95 for your navy. So the beige is in the lead. And this fabric is actually the most popular one this morning as well. So this fabric bundle, you've got your lovely floral print there. I'll open this out so we can see it. Let's have a wave around. You can see actually when it's opened out, you really do get a lovely amount of that bold statement lime green flower there in this teal rose bouquet. Lots of these are in the baskets, so please do check out if it's one that you want. I love teal. I love the background fabric of that's really nice, that nice blue sort of royal teal colour. Then teamed with that, we've got the spot-on fabric. So this is a nice aqua blue, very fresh feel to this, with your white dots. These are nice small polka dots as well, you can see there. It's the sort of thing that from a distance probably almost looks like you know, just a solid colour, and then when you look a little closer, you've got that detail. I think this is lovely if you want to line a pocket, and when you undo it, you've got a peep of that other fabric, which is really nice. And then you've got that azure blue as well. So this is a darker spectrum solid. You can see there just that uniform colour. This one's really soft, 100% cotton. Oh, got a little thread on there. This is a cornflower blue. Oh, this is azure, but... So 3 times half meters, 3 half-meter strips. So it'll be 1.5 meters in total. CKGC 92. And again, if you're multi-buying, these are pre-cut, so it will be, lots of people are multi-buying, but they will arrive to you as 2 lots of half meters. So you'd get 2 half-meter cuts of the azure, 2 of the floral, and 2 of the spot-on. And the other fabric bundle is Amy Butler, who's next to me here. This is a really, you can see that on your screen there. You've got that nice claret colour there in the middle, that dark, rich wine. Those have been matched really, really well together. I'm going to start with this one because I have never seen this one before. I'm not even sure that we've had it on the show. So this one is called your Rhythm Stripes, and it's like, here you can see these lovely little bricks like chevrons on the fabric, creating those different shapes. Again, that lime green being picked out there on that lovely plum background, and a lighter pink and that coral again. So 1/2 meter of that one from Amy Butler. And then paired with that, I'll put these together so you can see, you've got this really lovely floral. So this one here, actually, when you put them together, you can see how those colours all come from the same collection. So you can see that here. This lovely lilac here that's picked out in the petal of the flower is exactly the same as these little bricks that are creating that rhythm stripe in the chevron fabric there. And again, with your coral, this corally colour here matches perfectly here with these rectangles. And the background colour matching as well in that collection. And that's been paired again with a solid. This one's called Claret, so it's a lovely sort of wine-like colour with it's got some pink tones to it. And this one here, if you can see, works really well as a trio. You've got your pink, your floral, and your chevrons. So ½ a metre of this one, ½ a metre of your floral, ½ a metre of your rhythm stripes from Amy Butler, VF GC 95, and that one's $14.95. So which fabric bundle is most popular at the moment? The blue one. It's the Teal Rose Bouquet that's in the lead at the moment. If it is in your basket, that's just one. We only say that particular bundle this morning, the Amy Butler or the Joel Dewberry bundle. You get, if it's your first order from us, then you get a sewing quarter sewing kit as a gift from us to you. This pins, scissors, a seam unripper, your buttons. It's lovely as well that everyone that's, part of the sewing quarter community, if you like, people that love to watch regularly, you'll all have one of these if you're buying things from the show. So perhaps if you go to classes or workshops or to some of the big exhibitions, it's quite likely people will just have one of these in their bag. Are you in the club? Are you in the sewing quarter club? So that's worth $14.95. If you spend over £10 on your first order, we'll send you one of those. So I'll just talk you through what's coming up tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow morning, and at 8 o'clock we've got Playtime Prints, and I'm actually with Janice Hobbs on tomorrow's show. Then at 9 o'clock we've got the ever popular Tilda Softies. So Tilda always really popular with those whimsical prints and gorgeous little stuffed animals and toys. Then at 10 o'clock, Perfect Purses return. This is a big one. The other day when we had, Joe Carter had these and they sold out in 6 minutes. These are super popular. So we've managed to, we've got them back. We're bringing them back. So if you did miss out last time, tune in tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for that Perfect Purses return. You've got to be quick on the mark for that. 6 minutes they sold out last time. Then at 11 o'clock is So Useful Storage. So lots of storage options for your sewing room or for general storage around the house, whether that be in the lounge or the conservatory or in a bedroom, all different options for that. So thank you for everyone that's joined us this morning and for sending in all your messages. It's always lovely to hear from you and to see what people are buying. And, when people multi-buy and put things together, send us a picture, or on Facebook, our social media pages, you can pop up pictures of what you've made and share those with the Sewing Quarter community. So we had the different handles in today's show, 6 different options, that artificial leather one, the different plaited options in navy, beige and grey, and your woven options as well, which would work really well with those linen fabrics. Then we also had 2 different fabric bundles. So you've got your lovely teal bundle there from Joel Dewberry and your Amy Butler one there in your claret with your plums and burgundies and lovely floral prints and chevrons there. So I'm back tomorrow morning with Janice Hobbs. We hope to see you again then. And don't forget to send us your pictures of what you've made. I'd love to see them. We'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!